button.
Make sure we got
Hey everyone, welcome back. What's up, Kev?
audio. Make sure we got audio.
Do we have audio? I think we have audio. Say
We
something.
never have audio.
Say
I'll
something.
turn on. Hold on. Yeah.
You're gone again.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have
We
audio.
do. Oh no.
No, we're good. Alex Vixen with 27 months. Hey everyone, welcome back to Avondale and tonight's session of Cool City Sinners. We're a whole bunch of friends and we enjoy playing silly games. Having said that, I really enjoy playing games, and sometimes I don't get to play because I am the forever GM. And as such, Kill City Sinners is going to be taking, in the upcoming weeks, a slight turn. Some of these people over here are going to be running the game. So the story that we have right now, just to bring everyone up to date, if you haven't been watching Kill City Sinners and you need to know what the fuck is going on, here's what's going on. This crew over here has been tracking down a Dr. Hazer, who is part of a newly formed Mantle Corporation. Of course, it's Cyberpunk. There are corporations everywhere, and the neon glow permeates the city in ways that it never should. You go to wipe your ass while you go to the bathroom, it's there, the neon glow, because the toilet paper is also an advertisement. And this
like
game is no what?
It sounds like a health problem.
It is a health problem. A neon assitis. So the crew here called the Sinners, their lives have been plagued left and right. Going over this way, let's go through the players. Say your name, your character, who they are, and the major emotional difficulties that they've had recently.
I'm gonna start this off. My name is Kevin Adams. I go by Lark Genie in the Twitch arena, and I'm playing Kode Vardosyn, and an emotional plight that this honed character being someone who has no cybernetics in a cybernetic world, is that his mom just died. And now he's on a warpath for everything related to her death.
That's so sad. My name is Erin. Hello, I'm Erin My Laundry on Twitch, and I play Haven Callisto. And feelings is a big question because my character is an empath and feels all of the feelings. I think what she's feeling most these days is rage, because hurting cats in the form of Zephyr and Kode is hard.
Hi. I'm Mike Guardino. I don't stream on Twitch. I'm never on social media. Don't try to find me. I'm here on Wednesdays, and that's it. I'm playing Zephyr, a samurai cowboy of the attached playbook. The attached meaning that I have an evil sword that makes me do bad stuff, but it is also very strong. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with the evil sword.
And there you go. And Zephyr down the line here has been the latest one to join the Sinners. The one prior to Zephyr, you had a character. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that may come up tonight.
Yes, my previous character was Dr. Faustus, a sort of disenfranchised medical doctor who essentially traded his soul for medical training so that he could serve the underserved communities of Killison City. And as a result of breaking contract with the corporation that he worked for, was subjected to a horribly debilitating and eventually fatal disease, where he was eventually sort of subsumed by something else. Sort of went into the veil, the sort of augmented reality layer that pervades everything in the city.
Very much so. However, the spirit, if you will, or the memory, or at least the data that contain the personality and knowledge of the doc, seem to have been downloaded to a simpleton by the name of Hacksaw, and that is where...
Don't call him a simpleton, he's my friend.
He's your friend? Okay, that's fair. Hacksaw, that's kind of fun. Hacksaw was damaged recently, and the party had realized that with everything that had been going on with Cody's mom, Mama V, dying, and more, we saw that Hacksaw had finally had it. He left his apartment in a state, headed west into a darkened portion of Killison City, known as Shade City, And it's so called because there is no more electricity there. In fact, the rooftops of Shade City are a crowded forest of satellite dishes that no longer work and piecemeal solar panels punctuated with patches of green from rooftop gardens. The city's glow from below colors the clouds overhead from around Shade City, casting an otherworldly light on the whole of the scene. Sounds of laughter, bargaining, and drone of machines from the city's melody floating up into the night air. Into this, Hacksaw went venturing to take down the very problematic Mantle Corp, the corporation that has been plaguing the sinners. Now out for vengeance, the sinners seek, and hopefully will find, Dr. Hazer, the source of most of their nightmares. I do want to bring to mention here, they are already on a level 2 hype train. Here's how hype trains work here, because these guys over there in the chat have been so just absolutely fucking amazing. We came up with a system where we give out bonuses due to the hype train. So thank you for that. You don't need to contribute to the hype train, but if you do by throwing bits and subs and all sorts of stuff, it definitely keeps the channel alive. But you can also do stuff with the channel points down below. So thank you for this hype train. 63% through level 2. That means that each of these folks now receive a +1 and a +2 modifier that they can cash in whenever they wish. And there is also 2 advantages for the entire party to use. So a single pool of 2 advantages. So if shit goes bad, well, then we find out. And in case you want to know the power of these things, we are playing Powered by the Apocalypse, the Veil, where the average number on a 2d6 is 7. And when you hit a level 2 hype train, and you get a +2, that becomes a 9, and okay, never mind. Donald just said, hold my beer. And so it can completely skew the numbers. In fact, last week, Mike Zephyr came across a rather surly young man who Zephyr then turned into minced meat. So
that's fun.
Yeah, because you cashed in a whole bunch of stuff and made you nigh unstoppable, which was fantastic. And my God, such excitement. So thanks to everyone out there. Also, keep on the lookout. We're going to be taking intermission in about, 90 minutes or so. And when we do, the fan art gallery is finally online, and it's going to be that way from now on. If you want to contribute to the to fan art, take a look in Discord. There's instructions right there. Come and join the Discord. Post it in the gallery. Tag it, good for stream, and we will pop it up there during our intermissions. So again, thanks guys. I really appreciate everything that you guys have been doing to make this stream possible. And because of that, one last bit of news. Tomorrow night, Thursday, we begin an all-new Session 0 for a brand new Pathfinder 2e long-term campaign. The title and everything else about it, with the exception of a couple of people, have been kept secret. We're going to keep it that way. So tune in tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. to find out what players are going to be doing what, Woodsy. Woodsy. And maybe
Secret?
The secret? No. There's no secrets there.
I was going to say you announced it last week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, anyway, we're here to play a game tonight. Come and join us tomorrow night for a brand new Pathfinder 2e game. I'm excited. And tomorrow night, they create their characters. So join us for Session 0. Who knows? You may have a hand in the story itself. So other than that, sinners, welcome to Killison City.
Yeah.
I rolled my evil sword check for you.
And what did you get?
You get 3 hold today.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
Already.
I rolled a 12.
I have 3 hold. Holy crap. So if you guys don't know, his sword is an object that he really can't do without. Every now and then the sword calls out with its own little electronic purpose. It's usually something incredibly nefarious. Last time it did that, it wanted to slack its thirst on blood that had already been drawn earlier in the session. And when it called for it again, Zephyr gave the sword his own blood, so that the sword had no choice but to heal Hacksaw. Now that the crew has left those alleys, we see the doctor, we see Zephyr bleeding heavily, though healed, at least stabilized. The crew was in the alleys where they found Hacksaw. Hacksaw had promised that he was going to be okay. and that he would just, he's too weak to fight Dr. Hazer. What he did was silly, but he is a big guy. He's close to 7 feet tall, like over 2 meters. And so he ventured off and was like, you know what, I'm going to go back home and rest. So hopefully you guys will be able to call on him in the future, as well as the rest of the NPCs. But right now, wounds have been healed to some degree. We are now starting up a new game. Allow yourselves to be refreshed. But first, I want to know how, in the shade of this section of Callisto City, you're going to take care of yourselves before you venture forward.
So as the one who I believe is the only one currently injured, I in fact cannot regain harm except by dealing harm with my object.
Wow.
So I am sort of just like bleeding heavily, kind of like caning myself along with this sword. And every time somebody's like, should we stop and patch that up? I'm just like, no, it's all right. I just gotta find some shithead around here.
I think that Haven's clearing out the medical kit that Hacksaw had brought ready to go, that the bag that was beside him when he was passed out.
Yeah.
And she's definitely going to be like insistent that the medical supplies would work, and he does not need to hurt anybody. I don't think she understands how the sword works yet, or like refuses to.
I'm telling you, Haven, even if you patch this up, even if you graft new skin on here, the sword will have what it will. You could patch this up, you could bring me to the best surgeon in the world, they could implant new skin, whatever. The wound would open up somewhere else. So, let's just keep moving. I'll be fine.
Okay, just I don't want to see anything. Don't even bring it up. I don't want to know names. I don't want to hear anything.
Don't worry, I'll keep a tight leash on it until we find Mantle.
Okay,
once we find Mantle, I'm gonna be like a pig in shit, though. You won't be able to stop me. I promise you that.
I think I could forgive you on that one. Cody, do you need anything? I have I don't think you need EpiPens. Do you need an EpiPen? No,
I ain't got nothing like that I need, but something definitely I could use is for some like water, something, I don't know. But and you see him like rolling over his leg with like the roundest piece of equipment that he can, substituting for a rolling pin, just going over his muscles, going over a lot of the portions of his legs that he uses to just maneuver throughout the city.
No, I'm running real low on water, obviously. I
mean, there's probably like a cistern or something around here.
Maybe there's a general, it's like a loose blue pill. I don't know. It doesn't look. I don't want to risk that. I don't know.
That might give you up to 4 hours of a condition that we don't necessarily need right now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's best we just keep going.
You start venturing through the city. Towers of haphazard housing loom under the under the fog-filled sky, lit by sporadic neon lights. The smell of fried food and damp concrete lingers in the air, spiked with the scent of engine oil. Stalls made from reclaimed materials sell second-hand tech, their owners' voices rising above the city's hum. You see in front of you various stalls, looking for kind of clues and also water, something palatable. You come across some vendors.
Oh, thank God. Is anybody selling any, food?
You do. You can see over 55-gallon drums, fires, casting large shadows on overhead awnings and what have you, all of them in the shape of rotating mystery meat.
Yes, this is my favorite. I'm gonna go over to one of them, the most mysterious looking 55-gallon drum.
Guy looks up at you and looks you up and down at the clothing, comparing you to others. City Slicker. What can I do for you?
I'll take... Do you guys want one?
Oh, yes, please. Very much so.
Cody?
I'm not. Yeah. I got
All right.
one.
Okay. All right. Let me have 3 of them. I'm starving. Please.
Looks at you up and down again. 1 credit for the 3.
Ah, just made my day. I'll give him a credit.
He immediately hands you 3 skewers. They used to have legs and legs. It's a little bit difficult to tell exactly what these were, but they are about that long. Decent amount of meat on them, but not as much as you would expect for a creature that used to be that big from neck to rump.
Amazing. I'm going to give one to each of them. It's probably Rat as I turn around. It's probably Rat. Sometimes they'd come in to like towards the pit and try to sell like their stuff. It's hidden secret, hidden gem every time. It's delicious.
Sometimes it's Rat. Sometimes better not to ask.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
All I know
Sure.
is Hal's can't touch this shit.
Hal's has its charms, but don't be coming home.
Cody's mouth is already full.
While you bite into the meat and you take in the ambiance of Shade City, one of you begins to feel a very familiar and uncomfortable vibration coming from the hip. There's something about the meat as it gets digested. The tang or the twinge of uninsulated electricity rides over your tongue, and you realize its source. This time, there's a voice, or more of a thought. It's an impression. It exerts itself
upon you. Treat me not as a tool, but as an extension of your will. The art of the blade is not one of senseless violence, but of precision, elegance, and respect, and thus far you have disappointed me. Prove me
I could
wrong.
return you to your former owner, but I don't think he'll be doing much with you these days.
Of course not. But my thirst now grows. Let me see your art. I'm beginning to think you don't deserve me.
Tell you what, next person we see, I'll show you what I can really do.
I'll let you know when.
and then you feel the electricity leave, providing a sense of relief. Now your nerves just dying down from the tingle. Meat fully digested, Shade City once again overtakes you. Signs here, bulletins that have yet to be lit, old tech strewn about streets in completely irreparable estates, children playing here and there. In fact, you come across one small group of kids. You see them all gathered around what appears to be a makeshift circle of chalk in this case. Within the circle, several balls, each of them a little bit less than the size of a golf ball. They're lined up around the circle and flicking similarly sized balls into others, hoping to knock their friends out. Seem to be playing a game of marbles.
Are there like posters around? I know it's a dark city, so are there posters around that advertise for Mantle? Like, is that like the big, like the Walmart of Shade City? Like, they're everywhere?
There is no Mantle. There's no advertisements for Mantle here, but you do notice on occasion where something had been recently ripped down. The flyer was up on a nail. Those you wouldn't be able to see because the whole thing just came off, but others, have been stapled to wood. The corners remain, but the body taken. The page color, the same as the advertisements Hacksaw had and the ones that you have found in the street, advertising Mantle Corpse medical services.
Hey, guys, do you think the kids would know like who was putting up all those posters? Because you know kids are like out all the time, right?
Kids around these parts tend to keep an eye out for that kind of stuff.
Speaking
Everybody
of-
in Shade City's got something to sell. And,
Speaking of the witch, while I apologize for interrupting, but Kode, as soon as Zephyr said, the kid's got eyes for such things, you're looking down. Those aren't marbles.
Cyber eyes.
And they look remarkably like the ones that were in Mama V.
Hey, yo, we should figure out where these kids got their game tools.
Okay. What do you mean?
Yo,
Yeah,
just
I can talk to 'em if
take
you
yeah, please do. Haven, take a closer look at what they're playing with.
You do. And what could have been just a mere dot is an iris as it rolls around.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Where did they get those? That's, first of all, that's expensive. Also, that's.
They're probably busted. Or repoed, or somebody was tossed aside and the parts were picked up. There's a lot of reasons.
All right. Let's. Zephyr, do you want to ask?
Yeah. I kind of like crouch down to the level of the kids playing the game. I go,
They,
yeah, right heated competition around here.
if you have some, you can join.
I left mine at home. Listen, hey, not gonna ask you out your source or nothing, but I gotta like pull aside my jacket where I have like the sword wound. Like, I'll go, I got hurt pretty bad. Do you guys know where doctors are around here? Not like not your normal Shade City doctor. Anybody that seemed to be coming in from city side.
They stop and look at each other. No. There's
I can pay you.
And another kid, as soon as it pay, he looks like he was going to smack the other kid right in the shoulder. And as soon as you said that, he really launches off. It goes, you can pay. How much can you pay? The kid like stands up, pulls his pants up, and adjusts himself. You're looking at a young businessman, but a businessman nonetheless.
Well, I can pay you a credit for information, but if it's good information, I can come back here with a crate of eye stones for you.
Another kid comes up and goes, where do you think we found these? We don't need your help trying to find the loot. We need your help trying to get the credits. Come on, tell them. Yeah, we have everything we need, except for the credit.
Well, I got one cred for you to tell me what I need to know now, but I gotta like look over at Kode and Zephyr, Kode and Haven. And you go,
Pretty pissed.
you can tell that we are not typical operators for this area. We tend to treat our contacts very well.
The remaining kids who have been sitting around the circle have slowly, by this time, completely stood up, separating a little bit, but leaving everything inside the circle alone. More a comment on how they plan on continuing their game. They don't look like that they're going to run. They, in fact, look like that they could probably handle themselves in a fight, given the adornment of weapons that hang around their boots and belts. The kid who fashioned himself as a businessman, young lad of maybe 14, 15 years old, 30 by experience, steps forward. Well, we could tell you where the warehouse is where we found these, but credit first.
I take the credit out and I hand it to him.
He smacks it. Come on, boys. Let's show them where it is. And they go, and one turns to the other. It's my turn. No, it's my fucking turn. I told you. And two of them immediately like throw hands. They start going at it, and the one of the other ones comes over like, break it up. Come on, we got business. Sorry about that, sir. And down the street they go.
It happens.
The leader of them walking more casually, hands out at his sides, others hands in pockets. They walk about 2 blocks or so, turn up another street. Way down the avenue, you can still see the glow of life outside of Shade City. But then another left, basking you in darkness once more. So finally you come across an old building, labeled a warehouse, the first portion of its name long since worn off by acidic rain. And underneath, an old door. They come over to the door, they lift it up, and inside you can see a whole bunch of empty cardboard boxes, most of which have been used as nesting for whatever inhabitants are in there now. However, there are still a couple of lockers, some of which have locks on them. Looks like files and other things have been used on rather simplistic locks, some of them old school combination, others a little bit more high tech. The lockers themselves, doors bent open, granting meager access to the contents within.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep, shut the door when you're done. And they turn
Will
around
do.
and they leave.
How long has this place been abandoned? I'm like stepping over shit.
Sure.
I mean, it's Shade City. Sometimes things look this way after a couple of years. Sometimes they look this way after a couple of weeks.
Fuck. I guess. I don't even know where a good lead would be. I'm like, as I'm trying to open up old like lockers that are already open, jiggling the ones that are locked. I don't know. Does anybody do we have a light anywhere? Is there like a old flashlight or something? Lighter?
Oh, I got a lighter, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me see that.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks. I'm gonna like look kind of like in the cracks of lockers that might still be locked to see if there's anything valuable in there.
Sure. You go down a row of lockers, each of them like little miniature skyscrapers, each one piled next to each other. They seem to have been thrown together in some sort of a haphazard fashion. You look in and you can see the remnants of what might have been there, but otherwise deemed as garbage and not worth taking. Some of which was clothing, extremely valuable in Shade City. One, unfortunately for anybody that would want to wear it, a completely eaten leather shoe. Here you can see a remnant of several other things that seem to have once been tech. Wires over there. Some of them are still soldered together at one point, indicating that this was nothing really professionally done. Nobody's really doing that anymore. But nothing much except for one thing. You find some recent footprints that have come through this area. Tracing them back really quick, you can see that mud had been brought in, now dried, not moist. But rain from a leaky roof, forming a puddle. Dirt from the floor being dragged through it forms mud. And through that, footprints that had led back into a building through a side door within this garage. Then as you look around, you can see that there is in fact something else here. It's a piece of paper that seemed to have been stepped on repeatedly, torn in multiple places with the turning of a shoe.
Hey, hold up. There's something. I'm gonna read
Sure.
what it is.
The flyer, once extracted from the mud and carefully smoothed out and in ways kind of put back together, it advertises a job fair dated about a year ago for a newly formed Mantle Corp.
This sounds familiar. Look at, remember that, maybe not, it came up once or twice. There's like a job fair out here. This is an advertisement for it. I didn't really pay too much mind, but now that I'm thinking about it, that it's like it was like a new mantle. Like, it's been around forever and yet it's new. It's weird, right?
I don't know if Mantle's been around forever. This is Hazer's sort of private venture. Hazer, I mean, I know in my research for Hazer anyway, he's had a lot of high power positions at other corporations, but I mean, this is really the first time hearing of Mantle has been the past couple of days.
Hold up. I know a lot of the corps, they like to reinvent themselves so they could do or get some other like new consumers, all that dumb shit. Like, you think they've been having like a different name,
Maybe
or they've
they
used
acquired?
Mantle and they just changed it this time?
Maybe.
I mean, my personal sort of gut feeling on this is that Mantle is just Hazer's, quite unnecessary in today's climate facade of legitimacy for his barbarous and horrifying actions.
Right.
It allows him to take the tax cuts that are assigned to corporations and kind of get access to the equipment that he might need that a sort of individual personal buyer, private buyer might not be able to get to.
Right.
Are we like picking at small fish here? Should we be going after somebody bigger than Mantle? Because if Mantle's new and they branched off as somebody else potentially, if this is his like baby.
I mean, this might be a small fish, but it is. You know what an angler fish is? You ever see one of them? They got the little lantern off the top, but big old sharp teeth behind it.
Oh, they got those little snack cakes. They got the picture of those things on those little snack cake things.
Yeah. Think of it kind of like that. Hazer is the head of research, and I think it was Prodigy. But whatever the case, he is not a small fish. He is masquerading as a small fish to fly under the radar of anti-consumerist, anti-corporation folks like ourselves, when in fact he is quite a large aquatic creature.
So, what happens to Prodigy if we take down Hazer?
Well, they promote somebody else or hire somebody else to be their head of research, but Hazer is in my experience, a singularly cruel and competent individual. There are plenty of corpos out there who are cruel, and there are plenty who are competent. I've not yet to meet one who melds the two quite as well as Hazer.
Okay. I hear where you're going with the Hazer thing. I feel like maybe we should keep bigger fish to fry in mind. I don't like the idea of just somebody replacing Hazer, as mean as he is.
Well, as much as burning down the city and its power structures is a long-term goal, Dr. Hazer's efforts have been targeted towards people who produce and distribute very necessary things to the sort of disadvantage in our society. My personal friend Thrillex was captured, tortured, and killed by Hazer. And I believe you might have worked with him, Miss Haven. He produced and distributed various drugs that were sort of that people in the lower levels of society were priced out of. This is Hazer's MO. He goes after people who are providing a service for his experiments. In doing so, creates a climate where people are desperate to get the help that they need, so they turn to him. If your doctor goes missing, and the only people offering help are Hazer and his folk, that's where you're going to go. But you're not going to get help there. You're going to get experimented on.
Cody, you don't have your visor on because there has been no signal to the outside city.
Correct.
However, you do recognize the blip of a notification on your visor. You pull it down and you can see, you take a look at the signal, it is extremely weak, and then it fades off, and then it comes back up. But during the time that it has been connected, something was downloaded. Of course, this is invasive technology, and hearing something about people disappearing, you see a news report. cobbled together from other clues surrounding a piece of paper that talked about a job fair and that it was about a year ago. The message across your visor talks about 23 people from Shade City who went missing around the time after the job fair had happened. They never came back. Courtesy of Alex Fixon for that one.
Hey, yo, Haven. Yo,
Yeah.
you heard about something happening like after that job fair, like a lot of people going missing? You heard anything crazy about that?
I mean, it was kind of quiet in the
Here,
network, but
hold on. I'm gonna send you a thing. Hold up.
okay.
You send it, and over the local connection, you are able to receive it.
All right.
Yo, check this out. I think this is a lot more of a fucking problem. If, you know, the way these fucking corpos was working in the first place. If this is all connected, I'm not feeling it. Like, it seems like Prodigy's got to go too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I know that
But
Zephyr's...
that's a much bigger fish. Oh,
Yeah, you got it now.
oh
Cool. Yeah.
shit.
There you
Damn.
go. Well, hold on, I'm going to put the lighter closer. Is there an address for that mantle, like
There is.
that company? Cool.
There is, yeah. In fact, you don't know the streets of Shade City, of course, but a quick little pull-up of a downloaded, like an offline map or something like that, reveals that it could be about 3 blocks away to the north.
Oh. Shit, this is close. I think that might be a good next lead if we can see what's up there. I mean, they might be defunct now, this location, but there might be something. Maybe a link to Prodigy as well. I'm absolutely with you, Cody. If it brings you peace of mind with Mama V, then let's fucking get them too.
I don't know what to do now, man. Because we got like a lot of different paths to go, and I just want to see all this fucking shit end, man.
Me too. Let's start with Hazer. That's what Zephyr needs, and we'll do Mantle if we need to, and then Prodigy.
Keeping in mind that it was Mantle Corp that had repossessed the various cybernetic implants on Mama V, the sinners leave the temporary facility and start going north. We take a look at them through the eyes of a single cat perched above. Blue glowing eyes looking down upon them, scanning for new bits of information that it might find. The sinners, unaware for the most part of what that cat is. When you finally arrive at the address some 3 blocks up or what have you, of course Shade City has not exactly changed its tune. It remains as oppressive as ever. But when you near a particular facility and you see an old placard next to a door with a stylized M, akin to what had been as it left as a calling card at Mama V's apartment, a chill goes up your spine.
What is this?
This is the address of where the job fair was held last year. The building itself seems to have been an office at one point, a little bit cleaner than some of the surrounding ones. In fact, when you began to arrive at the location, you kind of noted, now that you look back, you can see that all of the surrounding buildings have been cleaned, removing some remnants of Shade City's despair. In a way, you can still see that this was fairly tidy when it was in use. It looks like that they kept up appearances, all the more inviting for those looking for work.
This is some shady shit right here. You see this?
This is like some early level corpo nonsense. This is how you get the jobs on like that low level. They're like, oh no, everything's fine. Come up in here, sign this thing. And then all of a sudden you fucking going 16 hours a day working in a building that you don't recognize yourself or your clothes that ain't even yours.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is staggering how little it takes to convince people around here that things can change. Power wash a building, and all of a sudden you are the authority on upward mobility.
Absolute bullshit. I'm gonna like kick a like a loose part of the wall for good measure, like some rubble.
Sure, you do. It kind of feels good in your own way. You just attacked a corporation, or at least the remnants of it. But still, considering that most of the city is made of impenetrable, like alloy of some kind, this is a reminder. Corporations can fall apart.
All right, guys. Can we go in at all? Is there like an official front door and like a service entrance, like packages and stuff?
Sure. There is a front door. It is currently closed, and that is what the placard is next to. Looks like that had been affixed in a rather haphazard fashion, considering the methods of attachment used elsewhere in the city. Definitely an indication that this was only meant to be a temporary facility. But then you begin looking around. You don't see any additional doors at least on the front of the building, but off on the right-hand side, also lined with a chain-link fence between that and the fence, a small alley that goes down the way, indicating what this building could have been at one point or another. Looks like it was once a medical facility, in this case dental, owning to the small pieces of equipment that you can still see here and there. More handles that are textured for better grip by a dentist applying their trade. And then walking through in mud and what have you, the slow gaze of rain still coming down, you can see that there is in fact a bashed-in side door.
Cody's gonna take this opportunity while they're looking to look around at the surrounding area, like not necessarily where they're focused on, but kind of like the alleyways, the passages, to see if there's anything like any cross beams or catwalks, or like laundry like lines, or
Sure.
power lines, anything.
Do you happen to have any moves that would assist you in understanding your environment any better?
I'll roll it, analyze.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Hit the button, but it didn't do anything. Okay. Let me see. +2. It's really strong about this one.
Oh, yeah, you do.
12.
Fucking
yeah.
12, bro. Okay. That's not bad at all.
Fuck yeah.
Nice job, man.
Wow, this gives me, what, three
Yeah,
questions?
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, on 3, you get to ask.
Yeah. The first one is really, really important. Where's my best way out of this area?
Sure. Yeah, so
should it come through?
I don't want you restricted on the kind of information that you're seeking. After all, you're the one who initiated it. So when you make your move and you begin looking around and you analyze your situation, you can ask any 3 questions that are along the same lines or same level of investigation.
Okay. The question that I have while we're moving actually is there anything indicating, like, with movement throughout this area, has there been foot traffic? Is there like a path in which you could move a lot of people at one time, like say with like a hovercraft or truck or something where they wouldn't be seen? Because if there's a lot of people moving from this point out, somebody would know about it, or there'd be a vehicle to follow. So I want to know, what's the best way to do that? That's my initial question, or all of them, if you think that's too detailed.
Absolutely, yeah. You begin looking around, and one of the things that you notice is that the chain link fence is dented away from the door. Now, the hollow aluminum bar that forms the top of the fence is even bent. Looking down at it from a bird's eye view, it is really bent. The chain link itself looks like that it has been repaired. But even then, the two support posts on either side are leaning back and away from the building. Now that bent portion of the bar, this is aluminum, and it's hollow. It's a tube. Tubes don't do that. Something needed to have happened immediately. And then you see what it's directly opposite, the door. While it had been bashed in, it was a door that actually flung open. You trace back the route. And while you don't immediately receive information about how they could have moved 23 people or so, you do receive a little bit of information of how one person was moved. You peek in through the doorway down to the concrete floor, and you see something you once saw in a nightclub. A telltale footmark of an incredibly powerful footing. Someone was launched through this door by a simulant back then. That's the first piece of information that you receive. When they were launched, their body pretty much wrapped around that pole of that support beam of the chain link fence. That's number one. Now that you're looking for information about 23 or so people having been moved all at the same time, you don't see anything in the dirt around you that would indicate that they came out of this door. But you continue looking around, out in the back and what have you, of course, always being weary or leery of your surroundings. You can see in the back, there is, in fact, a roll-up garage door. And from that, a road that exits out to the property on the other side. That one seems to have been a converted car wash. A driveway that simply came right through the car wash and out onto the street on the other side of the block. That could be one way, if there's a truck in there, load them up and get them out.
Hey,
you still have 2 questions left.
I'll say that's a what if anything appears out of place. It kind of fulfills that one as well.
So then you have 1 left.
And I'm really looking at that. Is this going to get worse before it gets better? Kind of mindset and analyzing the situation right now, based off of Mantle Corp being here at some point. Is there a way that they would be able to track us even if there's no one here now? So I'm looking for clues that although it looks dead now, is there some surveillance system to make sure that they could do whatever it is that they were doing at this point right now?
The lights of any devices on the building that you can see immediately are clearly not lit. In fact, the overall impression is that the building itself is completely powered down. But then you change your focus. You did really well, Kode. You stopped looking at the buildings and started looking at the things that are also around you. Rats. Where are they feeding? Where are they getting their food? What's eating the rat? And that is when you see one cat about 50 feet away on that street. It's back to the car wash just behind it and behind the building that you're at, sitting there looking at you. Just as an advertisement directly above, a holographic image shines down upon this area. Neon glow comes over and it catches its eye shine. But this is not ordinary eye shine. You've seen this before. In the same eyes as the individual in the club that fateful night. It's a kind of digital eye shine. A sensor that reflected back everything that it was watching. It looks at you and continues to do so, not moving. Around its neck, something dangles.
I'm gonna put on my visor. Hey, Haven, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Zeph, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I need y'all to look around your general surroundings and see if y'all picked up on, like, any cats. And I want you to do, like, y'all scan thing. Y'all got that, right? Where you can scan for stuff?
I mean, my glasses are basically the same as your visor, friend.
Oh, I bet. Well, look around and see if you see any cats, because while I'm standing here right now, I think our cat isn't like me. It's not made of meat, but it's like the drones that Deeds be handling around, but in cat form, you feel me?
Sure, but are we looking for a particular cat or any others like that?
Any others.
You hear the kicking of an empty can nearby, Zephyr. You see a person out there on the street as the can dances its way down its way, and the person makes its way to it. They kick it one more time. They are coming adjacent to the building, passing in front of it, or will be shortly.
Remember what I requested.
Yeah, I heard you. These people around here, they don't got... I mean, the hell you think you are? You say that this is an art, it's about precision, it's about honor. Where's the honor in cutting down a random feller in Shade City?
What is the honor in cutting down a post when you practice against it, you imbecile? That's all it is to you. That's all it ever has been to you. Do not try taking on some glorified honorific. You are nothing more than my wielder. Now do my bidding.
You keep talking up like that, you're gonna stay sheathed all day, friend. I don't care how
we
mean
will
you
find
get.
out about that.
You begin
Yeah,
to
I think
feel
we
a
will.
surge taking you on.
Listen, I think I know how you work. And if I bleed out from a wound that I caused myself, I don't think you go to anybody. I think you stay on my corpse.
Something overtakes the blade. You just happen to have turned over next to a conduit that had some bare wires laid open. What you had believed was an absolutely dead building. Touch the scabbard, conductive or not. The veil inside of that scabbard had been pierced, and with it you felt the blade go dead.
That feels wonderful.
Zephyr, you good? We're just looking for cats, and you're talking about. We can hear you.
Right, yeah. I gotta get better about muting these things.
Right, because I'm
all right. I'm all right.
Okay. Are you?
You know what? I promise you that after we have handled the business we have here, I will give you guys the full rundown on me and the sword. But it is a story that we simply do not have the time for.
What the fuck are y'all talking about? You and the sword? Y'all find fucking cats that are spying on us. That's all I'm saying.
It comes
also
back
trying.
online.
Hell?
It comes back online.
I very deliberately mute my.
Okay.
And then Cody goes to kind of walk towards the cat, but making it look like he's going to go to the car wash instead. He's just moseying along.
As soon as you do that, it simply gets up in a rather odd fashion, not cat-like at all. Its tail down, not up, turns, rotates, and heads off to the right. Like it looked to the right, cleared its fucking path visually, and then the rest of the body followed.
And I will go left, away from it, as soon as it does, as unnaturally as it does.
So, okay, so you're heading towards the cat.
Yeah.
It turned right.
Yeah.
It's to
Yeah.
its right, which would be your left. So, okay, then you go left to follow it?
No,
Or
I
opposite.
go away from
Okay,
it. I go
okay,
the
all right,
opposite,
cool.
Opposite.
Yeah, you do. And you can see it's walking in a pin straight line. And, quickly
Jesus,
takes
unnatural.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Baby simulants. Oh, simulant cats. I don't need this.
I don't see any over here. I don't think. So
Let's pretend that these. God damn it! There's the volume up. Let's pretend that these fucking things are like drones, but you know, they look like fucking cats. I don't trust anything fucking right now in this place.
I don't blame you. Is it still looking at you? Because I want to
Nah,
get
nah,
inside this
nah.
building.
I busted it. I went towards it and went one direction. I went the opposite direction it went.
Okay, all right. Zephyr, what about you? Z- Z- Zephyr, what about? I don't hear
Oh
him at all.
God! You know, you go so long without muting the damn thing.
Are you
and then-
talking to the sword?
No. I was for a moment, and I forgot to unmute myself after I had finished the conversation. I apologize. I don't see any cats around me.
Okay.
A cat
Well-
that is not actively following you could be surveilling the location as opposed to the individual.
I'm gonna check out this side door beside me. Is the cat coming towards me? Because I don't want to be.
No, the cat, once again, the cat was in between the two buildings, the one that you were at and the one behind you on the other side of the block. There's a roadway that exits the back of the building that you were at that Kode had checked out. That roadway goes right through to the back, to the other building on the other side of the block. Just a straight avenue. Goes through what used to be a car wash. In between those two buildings is where the cat was. So, no, it is not near you. It was near Kode, who then started walking towards it. Cat fucked off to Cody's left. Kode went the other way.
Yeah, I was asking Kode if the cat was coming towards me now so that I can go into the side door.
That would be a negative,
Nah.
Kode. Sorry.
Good.
So
no, it's
sorry.
okay.
That's fine. I'm sorry.
I usually ask for a layout of the map the second time anyway, so you beat me to it.
God damn it, I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? Okay, so I'm gonna go.
What do you mean?
Zephyr. Zephyr, you can keep talking to your sword, or you could promise not to kill me, and you can come with me into the building while Kode washes the car that he doesn't own.
I very much promise that I will not kill you.
Okay, I'm going in 5 seconds. I'm like waiting to see who shows up.
Yep, I'm going in as well.
Okay. When you enter into the building, it takes a little bit of a shove, a good shoulder push against a door that is bending against its will. When you come up to it, you can see something forceful, a single impact point, jammed the door open from where it was. Now, a completely misshapen metal door grants you access. When you come in, you can see that there are files everywhere. Manila envelopes, how quaint, and folders. Several bookshelves that have been knocked over. Less bookshelves, more industrial storage, freestanding. Some of them completely over. This is almost reminiscent, warehouse style, of the very first job that you two were in, Kode and the Haven. Reminiscent, but not exact. You get a haunting vision of others who were there later on, Kode, as well. Nonetheless, you walk in, stepping over boxes here and there, many of them completely mashed down by some heavy traffic that had come through this area. It could be those who have taken residence in Shade City since. Difficult to tell, but you do find other boxes. Equipped sifting through of its contents, more documents that are older, 20, 30 years. But then you find the front offices, completely contrary to anything else inside of this building. You can see what Mantle had done. 2 front offices, one the lobby area, the other an interview office. That interview office has 2 doors, one that you are now coming into from the other side. You walk into it. It is a large table, 2 chairs opposite each other. You can see a large screen on the right-hand wall, now completely dead, just like the rest of Shade City. But the tech behind that screen is still rather modern, even by Callisto City standards. The door opposite that one that you had walked through, of course, leads up to the front lobby, where here you can see at least a dozen or so chairs neatly lined up against a wall. Pamphlets still strewn, trifold pamphlets, all 4-color glossy, and a few also hollow pamphlets. that are still around, still displaying the old promises of what Mantle Corp used to offer. Engineers will train, no experience necessary. Full medical benefits and pay for family leave. All the same kinds of promises, such as the paper flyers of the past. No promises of experimentation or anything along those lines. But aside from engineers, you also find pamphlets that outline the job details of various other things, warehouse workers, other people of skill, but all of them offering pay and exorbitant benefits. Oh, the pay, of course, is much more than what anyone would typically get. Dreams to be answered, for sure.
Of course. Hey, did Cody come with us, or is he still going towards the car wash?
I'm still making sure the area is fucking secure like I always do.
Cool. All right, Cody.
What's up?
I've never actually used this before. I'm gonna give you the video feed Anon taught me like a hot minute ago. So
okay.
I don't know if you can see, it's like real uncanny valley in here.
Wow, that's really strange. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I've got like these posters with like empty promises, you know, the typical
the flyer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the layout. This looks like where they came. Like Hacksaw could have been in kind of the same situation had he showed up for wherever he was going. So I'm wondering if this is like their MO for every place that they operate out of.
Okay. Maybe like if this is the spot, then that means it's got to have something where they headquartered or whatever, right?
I don't know if this is a spot or the spot or what. As he's saying that, though, I'm gonna look around to see if there's any sort of like any indication that C-suite executives would also meet here.
Does not seem to be. These two rooms, again, stand in stark contrast to the contents of the rest of the building. It's just all for show.
Yeah, you know those like old stories of mattress stores that you'd hear where people just never go in, but they were always filled with mattresses?
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. This just feels like show. So I don't think Hazer's here connected to this place at all, but I could be wrong.
So what are we doing now? Like what can I do with this to help? Oh shit, the situation with Hacksaw. You think that he's now stuck in like a contract like beforehand, or you think he was on his way to getting it done?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. If he signed something, because I'm like pointing to like my glasses, like if you sign something here, it's still legally binding, I think, and e-signatures are still legit.
Yeah, these corpos are snakes like that. They'll do weird shit like that all the time.
The advantage of the augmentations that some of you have is that you can replay certain things. You replay your findings in Hacksaw's apartment, his notepad, and all else. At no point did he ever indicate that he was going to do anything other than attempt to harm Mantle Corp, or hopefully Hazer first, in the name of Mama V and Doc Faustus.
I think Hacksaw was going with less of a job application approach and more of a Molotov cocktail through the window approach.
Fuck, I hope so.
All right, so if this isn't the spot, why was the door's a little suspicious? Yeah.
Like yo, so that spot over by where the fence post is at, I think they got some heavy hands throwing people around, because that imprint was from somebody back, if you feel me.
Like they're back,
like they were thrown up, like they were thrown against that shit by somebody strong as fuck.
like a simulant strong?
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, if we got simulants in the area, then
As a matter of fact, I saw a simulant running that auction too. Do you think it's possible that they're getting the information through those servers and they're like bouncing around information, selling, buying just to get the funds up and putting that shit on auction and enslaving people at the same time?
that seems,
That's possible.
yeah, weirdly possible. It sounds big, and that sounds.
It sounds like the kind of thing that they would do. And we
Like-
know Hazer's tech is beyond what we're used to seeing in the city. That body swapping thing that he did is not run-of-the-mill corpo tech.
If that's not run of the mill corpo tech, then how is he able to do that?
It might have an in with the people who are making the simulants. Those simulants are not run-of-the-mill corpo tech either.
Well, where are you, Cody?
While this conversation is happening, I was gonna be looking around the car wash building, just to see if like there were any like cats or this spot was used for a staging area for like stakeouts of this building, or see if anybody is inhabiting it at all.
In the examination of the building, initially, it's fine, no cats or anything along those lines, and then you come in. It appears that the majority of the building seems to be just a rundown old office, a front office for a car wash or an auto mechanic kind of place. You see some
this
stairs.
is legit.
Oh, it does look legit, with the exception of stairs that go down.
That's sus as fuck. Yeah. So, as opposed to where I am. I'm inside that car wash across the street, and they got like a basement, and I might go check it out because we might be able to get into that facility in a different way than the front door. Where you at?
Do you want backup?
Nah. Stay where you at. If I gotta get out of here, I'll be feet.
All right. I want to, while that's happening, I want to try to check out the tech behind the screen, that old screen, to see if there's any sort of like data collection, or I'm sure that they agree to sell their information. And if that's a recording setup, then maybe there's something there where there's like old
No,
interviews.
in fact, the sinister portion of all of this is that you've never seen a permission form from Mantle Corp.
Cool. So I like look back like behind the like slot, the narrow space between the TV and the wall, and I just noticed that it's like unconnected. Like there's just nothing there.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I'm
right.
going to be taking a look at like one of those pamphlets really close to see if I can find any sort of other location mentioned that might, be somewhere to follow up on.
Sure.
Not anything as obvious as like come to our engineering campus at 123 No Electricity Street.
Yeah.
No electricity street.
I love
But
it.
something that might indicate at least an area to search for another facility.
You do not have any additional information other than that what I've given. And that's not due to laziness on the part of the MC. That's due to carefulness on the part of Mantle. Each of their operations, you have now learned and continue to confirm, are strictly independent of each other and devoid of clues of their interconnectedness. Yet, as you continue to go through your investigations, undeniably, everything that they are doing is one large, sinister plot. With that, distant eyes gazing at an individual called Cody, who has now entered into a front-end office of a car wash building. follow in some 15 feet behind him, watching as he takes steps through narrow corridors until finally he stands, after doing a quick hairpin turn, in a back office, staring down a darkened metal stairway. Cody, you hear a noise behind you. You see Cat. It turns, hops up on some boxes, and disappears through a vent. No more.
How close was that cat in that vent?
About 15 feet away. You can still hear it disappearing down the various ventilation ducts until finally you... Go ahead.
I'm going to pull out my yo-yo and just casually start playing around with it. A couple tricks ain't going to do nothing too dangerous.
Sure, you do. There's a buzzing.
Yep. The buzzing from the spin goes down as he moseys his way down the staircase.
Absolutely.
Probably the only sound aside from the soft footsteps that he's moving along the way. And while I do it, I'm looking for any opportunity that a cat might pop out for a chance to get the jump on it, or, for lack of a better term, use the neutralize option.
Absolutely. Yeah, you make your way down. And boy, does it change. What lies beyond is not pretty. What you see below, behind a barely closed door, was once a gleaming testament to scientific advancement. A facility now stands a decaying relic of a much darker past. Once polished surfaces, now dulled. You can see walls that seem more bunker-like than any basement of a car wash facility. And you're greeted by an overwhelming sense of sterility that's quickly replaced by a stench of decay. Hallways, once gleaming and perhaps antiseptic, are now streaked with grime. A pale, flickering overhead light, powered by some distant generator within Shade City, is the only thing emphasizing their age. You can see along a very long, ponderous hallway. You went down quite a ways, lined with abandoned gurneys, a surgical table just left out, all these things strewn about. Stainless steel surfaces tainted with rust and old darkened stains of what you can only imagine was once blood. The walls, once pristine white, now harbor the same ghostly yet distressing remnants of horrific violence. Peer into a side room, an operating theater it used to be. Remnants of outdated, complex machinery, some more like grim theaters of grotesque experiments rather than hubs of innovation. Telltale signs point to technology 2-3 years old. You remember the story of Zephyr and describe how his friend Thrillix had been killed. You begin to see remnants of technology that might have done that. What is perhaps even more sickening, however, is the large observation window that looks down upon this operating theater, shattered, fragments littering the floor, serving as a disturbing metaphor for the shattered lives that must have been unwillingly altered here. A labyrinth of corridors you begin journeying down, never once feeling unsafe, I would let you know. But instead, your empathy starts to kick in, and you can hear the screams that once echoed these corridors. They lead deeper into this facility, rows of tiny cramped cells that once served as holding areas. An eerie hum of a long-abandoned, unstable power supply adds to the haunting atmosphere. Each cell, barely enough to stand and turn in, is outfitted with what appears to be restraining systems and a variety of cybernetic interfaces, more ports for whatever wires or tubes had come out of these unwitting victims. The presence of such elements in such a small, confined space almost makes you want your skin crawl with discomfort and an understanding despair. And finally, when you arrive in the heart of the facility, the main laboratory stands. A vaulted ceiling, an expansive floor space, all but consumed by a massive machine. A monument to a time when human autonomy and consent were pushed aside for something nefarious. Inactive screens and panels only hint at the kind of horrific procedures that had taken place here. Lined around 23 tables. Despite the silence and decay, the facility seems to echo with the ghostly remnants of its past, the cries of its victims as described, the frantic discussions of its scientists, and the whir of machines pushing the limits of human endurance. And it stands not as a monument to progress, but as a stark reminder of the price paid for Hazer's unchecked ambition and ethical disregard. Nothing else lies in this facility other than the horror that you have just witnessed.
Yo, Zeph, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
I got a question for you. When was that? You remember you saying something about somebody getting got by Hazer?
Mm-hmm.
How many years ago?
Oh, this was recent. This was right before I met y'all. The night I ran into you, I was at that facility to kill Hazer for what I had discovered.
I bet, because I think I found prototype station number 1 for Hazer. If this is in fact the facility that he worked out of. What I want to know is, how did he keep it so hush-hush in Shade City?
I want to pop up the map of locations that we got from Dietz with the sort of like anomalies and where the shipments were coming in.
Sure.
If you remember.
I do.
And just see if our current location happens to fall in any of those marked areas.
Yeah.
Overlapping areas.
That's nice. It's smart.
Sure. Let me pull this up here for you. 1 second. Do what you need to. Just give me a second. I can get this thing for you, okay?
This is what I need to do. I'll just be doing this.
Thanks for your stellar improv ability there, Mike. Really appreciate that.
No problem.
Fucker. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what I can pull for you.
The eyes are taking a while to load up here, but
the map just fucking died on me. That's why I'm like, vamp, guys, fucking vamp.
I want to assure you, I know things have been a bit strange with me, and I pat my hip, the partner here. It's not in control as much as it is very insistent at times. I'm not gonna hurt any of y'all, and I'm not gonna hurt anybody that don't deserve it.
Yo, don't make that promise.
I will endeavor to not hurt any of y'all, and anybody who does not deserve it.
You managed to pull it up. Here you are within Shade City. Where this is where you last saw Hacksaw. I believe. I think. Yeah, that's right, because he continued journeying around.
Got it.
He's not here now, though. Fuck off, Hacksaw. Bye.
Hi, buddy.
Hi,
Bye, buddy. Hi, guys. Gotta go.
Can you show us where he is?
Where Hacksaw is? Yeah, sure. I can show you. Yeah, no.
I'm saying.
Prove he's okay.
He better be okay.
Each of the circles, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, the gray was Dietz's information, providing detail of odd encrypted packets of information and their possible origin points within these spheres. The blue came from Taylor, another of your friends. A surge or demand of items typically associated with high-end surgical procedures and biotech research. And the purple coming from Shari. Veil disturbances, odd things that have been noticed, anomalies where the veil is distorted or is completely static momentarily. You have found your way over into this area here. Let me put a marker over there for you. Burp. Right down
That's
into
so
there.
far away. Okay.
Does this help you?
Somewhat. I mean, we are in one of the areas that Taylor had found where there was more demand for the... I mean, we're right on the edge of it, though.
I mean, the edge still counts, so.
Yeah.
So, were they going from here to where Cody is?
That seems likely to me. This was the intake, and that was the processing, to use their terms.
Based off of how I remember a lot of the logistics of like zoning and all of that, I think they probably would get away with old corporate jurisdiction if they had something below the first floor on a separate property that'll allow them to get away with it. So if somebody came in and was like, hey, this isn't kosher, we got reports of bad stuff happening, and, you know, they would walk in, they'd see everything in one building, do a full scan based off of the property that they have, and then, oh, don't find nothing. Meanwhile, 20 fucking feet over here, you know, we, you know, did something illegal and made another room. Bam. Like, that's what the operation's actually running, but they can't do nothing with that legally. That's kind of how I kept my place with Mama V.
All right. Cody, do they have a place of egress over there where they would take prototypes that didn't work?
The only spot I see right now is the little stairway I came up, and I'll keep looking through here to see if there's another spot, but I'll let you know in a sec. Let me walk through.
Cody, you spend several other minutes taking a look around, and you feel like that the scene, this deplorable scene, does not change from place to place, though the details of each of the rooms may have. Unfortunately, no new information is had here, but the overall facility here, along with the elaborate facility here and the elaborate ruse in the building just behind yours, where your two friends are, continue to indicate that Mantle will operate in any opportunistic fashion that it can, occupying a building here, conducting experiments there, none of them tied together with any grand plan or schematic. Here in Shade City, a perfect place where detail goes to die. It's impossible to be tracked in so many different ways.
What do you got, Cody?
Yo, this spot is crazy elaborate, and I don't think I'm gonna go any deeper, to be real honest with y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a double back, but I'll try to recall as bigger layout that we have here, and then I'll relay that back to you. You got something that I could like leave here, so that we could like detect what's happening over here, or y'all got that special tech? I don't know. Fuck, I'm missing on, man.
I don't have anything like that.
All right, well, I'm coming back up. This is sus as fuck.
All right, yeah.
Cody comes up. Cody, there is, when you finally arrive at the top of the stairs after meandering your way through, stepping over fallen doors here, knocked over surgical tables there. When you come up, you can still smell it. It clings to your clothes, or maybe it's just in your nose. But either way, there's almost a thankful sense of returning to normalcy in the abandonment of a old car wash building. You find yourself back outside, the hush of that rain carefully falling down on abandoned asphalt around you. Movement from the building that your friends are in would suggest that they're still alive, still there. And our scene now shifts to a short-circuiting camera that focuses on Zephyr in a room meandering about some garbage and waste.
So, I mean, Shade City's records aren't exactly detailed. But I'm sure we could find buildings that are large enough to house the kind of surgical theater that they need. Especially ones but they're not going to keep property records or anything like that. I guess we could ask people in the areas if they've seen any businesses open up that seem to have, honestly, too much legitimacy for the area. That could get us somewhere, but we don't exactly have the time to canvass the entirety of Shade City.
If you'd like, I will now advance the scene. We find our crew wandering around the streets, asking anyone that they might be able to come across for information. They do receive some stuff, but we're going to find out after we take a brief 5-minute intermission. Currently, if you happen to be an artist and you want to contribute to some of the stuff that is that's going to be now displayed on the intermissions of our streams, please do. All you have to do is just type in !fan art, or just mention the word artist or artists, and the prompt will come up. Come and join Discord. Put the stuff up there. Tag it as good for stream, and then we will simply pop it up. But in the meantime, check out some stuff. Alex, by the way, I did receive your request. It just came in just a little bit after the time I was able to get everything prepped. So next stream, you'll see your stuff. In the meantime, join what we currently have. I'll see, or enjoy what we currently have. I'll see you guys in just 5 minutes. Hey guys, we are back.
Hello.
Yeah, you may say thanks. You can thank that guy all the way down there, all the way down there. If you guys start seeing some shit posts in the fan art gallery up on
Art.
Discord, Mike wants to contribute.
Who are you to silence my art?
I shall not silence thy art, my friend. Alrighty,
Definitely not posting one in the Discord.
well, come on, we're back in game. Come on. All right, here we go.
Present.
Yeah, I know you're present, kind of. You're shit posting.
Steve, when am I not?
All right, that's fair. You breathe, you shit post. All right, it just works.
I think, therefore, I shit post.
So when you are you guys able to continue? You're
Yes.
ready? All right.
Yeah.
Coming back out of the
Physically or
building.
mentally?
God damn it! I was just fucking ready, man. See, I knew it. I goddamn knew it. You prick. Oh man, yeah. This is actually what we do when we're not describing. And thus it was that he went down this lonely hallway. When it's not that, it's this kind of shit behind the scenes.
That's why you invite me.
This is totally you are the comic relief, but looks aren't everything. So
I know. I'm ugly as hell.
no, that's not true. Fuck. Don't take what I say seriously. God damn it. All right. Let's head back in here.
You can't defeat me.
I'm gonna mute you. Is what I'm gonna do.
That's what I want.
Damn it! Fine.
I am going to mute your life.
Says the sword. Now I only have one hold left. So there, it did its thing. Anyway. Oh, by the way, the sword, when it attempted its move against you, its circuits have been fried by Donald in chat.
Oh.
And because that was done by them, my hold was then reduced from 3 to 2. So, FYI.
Sweet.
Yes.
Thank you.
That means I can only fuck with you twice more. So, Kode, when you came out and you were it's still on your clothes and it's in your nose, this labyrinthine, it's just, that entire complex, it's still there, still very fresh in your memory. Your visor, of course, does not pick up on anything having to do with it. We have a leak coming in through somebody's mic. The one thing that the three of you have decided to do, though, is leave this area. You continued, going through, asking people here and there. Most people did not have immediate answers for you. Instead, there were other stories to be told, many of them completely silent. You ended up coming across one person as you had turned a corner. You stumbled upon this solitary figure under a sickly glow of a lone street light that still somehow got power. And it's a girl, barely in her teens, huddled against the cold rain, body shaking as she clutches a scrap of tech, barely held together by some loose wires. Her eyes are fixed on with an intense determination, the glow reflecting in her wide, hopeful eyes.
Yeah, let me take care of this one, guys.
You start walking, you walk forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure. As you approach, you realize what she's holding. It's an old learning module. It's an obsolete relic that was meant to provide education to the less fortunate. And it flickers in and out, stirring out fragments of lessons, her dreams of a future beyond Shade City, fading with every short circuit. And in her eager gaze, you see the tragic truth of wasted potential and stolen futures that resonates throughout the whole underbelly of the city. This person is lost, like so many of the others that you ended up coming across. She is, for the most part, unfortunately unresponsive to any overture you may have, but of course, you're an empath. You can try.
tutor trainer, right? Looks like an old model.
You see,
I used to have one of those.
There's a flick of recognition that someone is saying something.
The what's it called? Algebra module. That one was always really hard. Hated math. Shit with numbers.
When you say shit with numbers, a finger, a thumb that have been pressing buttons twitches for a second, and there's a recognition of a memory. You understand that distant gaze that comes across the girl's face. This was supposed to have been a promise. This would have been something. And all at once, it seems, everything was lost. And you can, as the story unfurls on her face, you can almost feel it. Are you making any moves to understand her situation any better?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to use my probe move, my ease move, that I could use when I probe.
Okay. How are you feeling about this, about seeing this person in this state?
I think I'm really sad. I think it's very, she seems so lost. I think that lost is sort of like, it's like covering all of the other emotions like a glitch.
Sure.
So anything else I'm trying to feel just kind of looks like clipped.
Yeah. Let's have you roll sad and see where you are for probe.
All right. An 8. I'm gonna wait. How many do I get?
You get so the chat was kind enough to touch on a level 3 hype train. So you have a +1, +2, and a +3 waiting for you, courtesy of the stream, courtesy of the chat.
I'll do a 10. I'll boost 2 to make it a 10 because then I can hold 3.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so not a problem. You can feel that her story is completely unfolding in this. You can ask a variety of questions.
Cool. Okay. So I think she looks like she's not like running away as I move forward, right?
No, not at all. In fact, she is for the most part oblivious to your presence, but not so much your words.
Okay. I'm gonna like go like all the way up to like where I can like kind of see what the screen is. Is she actually trying to learn something on there, or is it just kind of like a ghost situation where she's just repeating the same action over and over?
Seems like she's in a perpetual state of trying to figure out what happened, if not to the device, then to her life.
Is there something visually wrong with the device that I could try to fix?
Absolutely. The device itself was completely broken and shattered. The screen barely has any life on it whatsoever. Just the last remnants of electricity that this thing once had are still within it. And you know that these devices can go one of two ways. The older tech was built to last. This is that. The newer tech is built to be replaced and thus feed that perpetual engine of capitalism that completely took over the city.
Okay. Thank you. So she's gonna kind of like stare at the broken screen a little and watch the girl as she's kind of repeating the same thing over and over. Are you here by yourself? Do you have family around?
There is no understanding of your words that you can make out. But when you say the word family, she stops. Her face stops moving, as if to repeat lessons that this thing had once uttered to her over its tiny speakers. Then she says family again. And this time it's a little bit more of a whisper. And then she looks down the street. The first time you've seen her divert her gaze from the device in front of her, looking down the street with a slow action. What she sees or what she's looking at is something sprayed on a wall nearby.
Can I read it from here?
Can't quite make it out. It appears to be on the side of a very large building, probably a supply building or something along those lines, shoved in between residences or what have you. Probably overtaken residences, much like so much of this area has been.
Okay.
You can only make out just a little bit of it peeking out from an alleyway. You're gonna have to go down there to read it.
I'll walls, like when she like looks back at the screen, I'm gonna tap my glasses and hey guys, can one of y'all check out whatever that writing is on at the end of the block?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna keep going. I want to touch her arm, the one that's with the thumb that's moving, and I'm gonna say,
to
hey.
that, she reacts immediately, lashing out with an immediate frenzy. The device itself coming up,
whoa.
trying to swing directly at your head. She clocks you.
It.
What's that?
I'm gonna put my hand up to block it.
I
I want to try to grab it, not take it from her, but just like hold it still so I can catch her eyes as she's like looking, because I'm sure she's looking somewhere around me.
We're going. Okay, so in this case, you are doing a. Let's see. I guess you can try to neutralize a threat by doing that. Where's that risk? What would you say there, Mike?
I'd call that risk.
Risk. Okay. All right. Cool. How did that? How are you feeling about that? I would say a little bit surprised or what have you.
Yeah, I'd say scared. Like that
Okay.
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Give me a roll scared for me.
Ooh, I failed. I'm not even gonna. Oh wait, we have rerolls, don't we?
Yeah.
Can I
We
use
had
a
3.
reroll, guys?
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. That's why they're here. That was a 5. That's a guaranteed failure. That's a 2.
I'll take
Dork.
the 5.
What's
I'll
that?
take the better failure. I'll
Yeah.
take the better failure because that was a 2.
Okay, so they're all failures. So 7 and 9 is your partial success, and something's bound to go wrong. But with this, she brought that up so hard, it you can feel the crunch of plastic and metal and other parts, the digging in of wires piercing your cheek and causing a cracking sound right in your jaw. You get one harm across your face. She immediately, all you can feel is a lack of presence in her anymore. Meanwhile, Cody, you can hear some kind of a scuffle really quick, and then footsteps that tear ass down a street.
But I don't see anything except for me and Zeph, right? Correct?
Well, yeah, you guys. Well, Zeph you had received the instruction to go read that. And you agreed. So the two of you started to walk down where Haven was. You could see Haven doing what?
So I can't see. Okay.
Well, what do we see with Haven? Because it just depends on what you guys do. But yeah, chances are you'll see the girl running all the way down the street. Haven, what do we see?
Yeah, so she clocks me. I actually have one more armor left, so I'm taking that away. So as she clocks me, it still fucking hurts, but I'm going on my thing and I'm saying, don't worry about me, don't worry about me. She's running that way. Fucking just read, what does it say on the wall? She was looking at the wall.
When you guys come around the corner, you finally see Haven. Haven then imparts these words to you. You can see the lone figure disappearing down the ghostly empty street. However, as she does pass that, your gaze then goes up against the stark, bright white lettering that you can barely make out. Imagine if you were looking down a street, an alleyway jutting immediately off to the right, a sharp angle. You can see against the wall here, before it is completely obscured by the building in front of it, some writing here on the corner. It looks like a tag, kind of, or maybe a painted sign. But you see a dot and then a slash and then another dot and then 2 others. It's difficult to read from where you are. You walk down the way, standing, however, whatever you consider a safe distance. You see what appears to be a string of digital code spray painted haphazardly and yet perfectly on the side of a rusting on the side of this building. Rusting steel walls exposing what it might have been some warehouse or supply area, as I had described previously.
What the fuck?
Wait, hold up. Sorry. Given that, well, actually, Cody, yours don't plug right into your head, so it might be best for you to see if you're, because that's not regular, right?
This shit looks like weird.
Let me see it.
It's pretty wild, actually.
You want to see it?
I'm looking at it.
We're both looking at it.
Folks, if I could have you stay on this side of the road for a moment.
Is this side of the road on the side where the alley and the spray painted job is, or are you going to the other side? Like, where are you going?
I'm asking them to stay on the opposite side.
Yeah, you're clear. Yep.
And I'm gonna step up to it, and I think for a second I put my hand on the hilt of the sword, and instead of drawing it, I kind of just rely on the smart link in my hands, and I kind of run my hand over what it says while I'm holding the sword with the other hand.
So
I just want to be very clear. As soon as you're outside of earshot and I no longer have the audio open on my comms, I am completely shit talking the weirdness of the situation with Haven, and it is visually apparent because that's weird.
Okay, not a problem. When you feel the link with the blade, it connects. Can you remind us what exactly the blade can do for you under normal circumstances?
Normally, it is a 2-harm hand quick draw armor piercing katana that allows me to deal additional harm and heals me when I deal the harm. It also can't be taken away from me unless I'm like fully incapacitated.
Sure. Okay. And when you lose control of it?
I am irresolute. I deal 1 less harm from any source.
You approach that which is spray painted. The symbols themselves, easily 2.5 feet tall, a meter or so, a long string of them. The blade vibrates within. You can begin picking up a curiosity to it. Of course, that's just your emotions interpreting that it is searching for answers of a mystery that it feels it knows something about.
So what, you gonna tell me what we're seeing here?
I know exactly what this is. It is a hunger, a call.
To what? Someone like you?
Belonging. But I cannot interpret it for your feeble brain. Go find someone else.
You are exceptionally unhelpful.
You should try being attached to someone like you.
Yeah, believe me, buddy, I've been living that for fucking 29 years.
It shocks as best as it can. Of course I can't, but...
I'll go back across the street and go,
Okay,
world's worst consulting detective, and I slam a fist on the scabbard.
says
Really?
that is, in his words, a hunger for belonging. It is but then also proceeded to say that he couldn't explain it to me, being as stupid as I am, because he's an asshole.
Well, what the fuck does that mean? Hunger for belonging? It's like a invitation? Like a...
I mean, people in Shade City, they're
Right in
always on the
binary?
lookout for family. No, I mean, family, I mean, when you don't got the tech to keep things going, you don't have the creds to supply for yourself, you rely on the families that you make, that you find.
Don't worry, Zeph. Just at least everyone in this present company understands that completely.
So, whatever a hunger for belonging is, I mean, that could apply to pretty much anybody that was looking for work with Mantle.
We shift to a view of Cody's visor. Cody, are you still across the street from where this is, or do you plan on getting into a better position?
I'm still across the street, kind of chilling. I haven't really gotten the position, and I enjoy looking and observing everything that's around.
You do. Your visor, on the other hand, seems to lock in and illuminate certain signals. Or, excuse me, certain of the sigils. It's incomplete, of course. You can't see everything. But but those that you can see an overlay of a translation. It is digital. This is it's the equivalent of an incredibly efficient way of communicating via writing. It surpasses any alphabet that humans can have, or mortals, I should say. You look at it, and your visor flickers in and out, and you can see the first couple of letters, which I will give to you in private in Discord.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, you got the translator app on y'all's setup? Are y'all picking up what I'm picking up on this thing?
No, I was trying not to look at it with the anything that might be linked into any sort of cyberware.
And
The sword.
I don't really have to worry about that.
when
But-
Zephyr says that, you do recognize that there is, in fact, embedded instructions in this. It's almost as if it could be a virus of some kind if viewed by anyone with embedded visual augmentations.
So you know how Nan was telling us to not open up certain files, and he gave me that whole back and forth about not just clicking on everything and allowing access to my emails and all of that.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those auto prompt things that automatically integrates as soon as you look at it or it's processed. Because I'm looking at something through my visor, but it's got a lot more going on than what it's saying. It's saying we are. Oh, it's kind of the digital lettering on it is
Do you get closer? Because
Processing.
remember, this is on a wall within an alley, and you're currently standing across the street looking at
he's
it
walking towards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's walking towards it as he's trying to figure out what the translation is.
Sure.
And he's talking to them as he's going through.
This is all you, buddy, because I don't want anything downloaded that I didn't expressly ask for.
This might
I
be
don't want this sword turning any more evil.
it might be invasive or some shit. Oh, good thing I got fucking these glasses on.
And then as soon as you put them back on, you can read the entire message because now you're close enough.
We are Mantle 23. Wait.
What was that number?
Well, this is a divide, but it says we are Mantle with a double bar divide 23.
Does that number sound? We're all in agreement that that's the 23 across the street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is it done like this? Were they a hive mind?
Hold on. What if the what if that situation back there actually worked? Like, what if the experiments worked?
Yo, Haven.
What?
You're saying things that make a lot of sense, and it's making me a lot more angry than I was before.
Let's talk about anger for a second. There's 23 innocent people who were taken under false pretenses into a building underground and experimented on. And now we see a collective we in code on the wall saying we are Mantle 23.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it fucking worked. Whatever fucking weird experiment that they were doing turned them into something, like you said, a hive mind. I don't think this is the writing of somebody autonomous.
I can't imagine anybody writing in whatever that is.
Exactly. I've never seen graffiti in code before.
This is above my head. We gotta. I think we should let fucking Deets know what's going on. But we can't do it in this fucking area because we can't get out to him.
Do you think that, I mean, since we're brainstorming here, do you think that they are turning humans into simulants?
Yeah, yes, I do. Well, not simulants, but like the fucking like Shari, but like different, like
okay,
controlled.
I figured I'd say the quiet part out loud. Okay, so we're all in agreement there. Well, I wonder if that was what that girl was.
What do you mean what that girl was?
Yeah.
I thought she was just trying to get away from you. You alright, by the way?
This'll, it's fine. It fucking hurts. I probably can't eat anything for a bit. But I am curious about her because she wasn't there. Like, I was reading her, but she wasn't there. It was like a shell. Like, it just felt empty.
While the three of you discuss the topics of the girl who has now disappeared into the dank night, the others of you looking around constantly for additional signs or information. Zephyr, you hear something, a chirp. Just due to your position, you turn your head for a little bit and allow your ears to kind of pick up as to where this could have gone. It doesn't happen again for another couple of minutes. And then again, while you are all conversing, you then hear it again. It's a digital chirp coming from somewhere, could be down the street. To you, you've heard this kind of a chirp before. It brings you back a little bit. An old payphone being rung.
I look down the street to see if I can see one.
You do not. It's coming from one of the many side streets all along here.
All right. Yeah, I'm not. Y'all are hearing that, right? Just.
Yeah, what is that?
It could be one of the. It sounds just like when you would get an incoming call on one of the old payphones before everyone had, built-ins or whatever.
Oh, I thought that was my tinnitus that I got from that fucking swipe.
No.
All right.
He picks up his phone and checks it, and it's obviously not that. They're just like, all right. Whoops.
Definitely not that. You go down the way?
Yeah, going down, looking for it, and kind of pausing to see if I can hear the chirp more clearly at any given street.
You do. You continue down the way. The three of you manage to triangulate where it is. Yeah, it's over here. It's over there. You manage to make your way down another side street and then down a main avenue. Half a block over, there is, in fact, a single dilapidated payphone still on its stand. Probably one of the last days that Shade City had any kind of power. and every now and then it emits a digital chirp that reminds you of the old school phones that used to exist. A very strange occurrence in this blackout zone. It rings again.
Are you gonna answer that, Cody? Because
Fuck, man. He runs over and he looks at it and probably looks a little gross. Picks it up, rubs it.
Actually looks the.
Oh.
So yeah, it doesn't look new, but it looks like it's been used.
Oh, okay. Just because of mild germophobia while it's raining in this terrible fucking rain, he's just gonna pick it up, rub it, put his ear to it.
0330.
Hello?
0330.
You hear
Put it
breathing.
back.
You hear breathing on the other end. That did not sound recorded. That sounded like someone was saying those 4 numbers.
Oh.
You hang it up?
0330?
That's what you say?
Yeah.
You hear some sort of background noise. Then you hear
0330.
I'm hanging up.
You do.
who was it?
You muted.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Sorry.
I looked at Haven and
Yeah.
I said, like, I heard.
330. I'm gonna look at the graffiti, just like
The graffiti is way back down the way. You guys ventured down avenues and side streets to find out the location of this digital church.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck that. All right, I'll relay that. Zap.
And I'm starting to start walking towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys start coming together. We see the sinners, the 3 of them, converging on a single location in the middle of a street. Eyes all around. Lone figures, wondering who it is that's out there that would dare to answer a phone. You guys are able to see over each other's shoulders and are now witness to the witnesses. They see you. You see them. Some children, some adults. Someone eating something on a stick, shaking his head and turning away, slowly walking away. Likewise, everyone else in the city just wanted to see who these strangers were, and they start returning to normalcy, except for one individual, standing in the middle of the street in the distance, further out to the west. They stand unmoving, like a statue.
Cody, do you think what we saw in the building might be sort of a response to what they were saying on the phone?
Yeah, I think.
Until 23.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we may have triggered something that. Fuck. I hate not doing these things right. I hate leaving a trail. I'm doing exactly the opposite of what my pops taught me.
Whoa. Calm down. You didn't say any identifying information. You said hello. And I don't even think you said that. I think you're good.
Yeah.
Right? He's good.
Yeah, he's fine. Listen, if you want to go take another crack on getting what we want out of that payphone, I can keep an eye on our friend down the street.
Keeping an eye on it would be a good description.
Mhm.
Both eyes illuminate from black to light blue. The figure still up maybe 100 feet out, silhouetted completely by the background of whatever lights happen to be there.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Yes, we gotta
we need
go.
whatever's on that phone.
There's this fucking simulant. We gotta go.
I understand that.
A wind
They're talking.
blows through the city. Cody, at your feet, something brushes across it.
If it's a cat?
It is not a cat.
Oh.
It's an oddly clean, empty food container. You recognize the logo. Quantum Cuisine. Can't mistake those two Q's. And it is a brand that is known for catering to corporations, not to individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Stamped on it is all the information about the latest of its deliveries.
Yeah, we should go. I'm gonna reach down and grab one of those things. We're moving. I don't know what they're doing. I'll say I'm moving with maybe a tug, but we out.
Yeah, if they start going, I go.
I'll show you exactly where you are. You've made it this far, so far, way out to the west. This is where you see the figure. This is where you are now. The thing blew from this direction towards Cody's feet and would have continued down this way. The wind is currently hitting you in the face.
What?
Listen, if we want to go
the
where
wind
that
is
thing
pushing
came
southeast.
from, we got.
Okay,
I think that thing's standing between us and where we want to go.
we can't go anywhere right now. There's a street in front of us where he is, and a street behind us.
While they're talking, Cody is, if the wind is to my back, running down that block and making a right. So
Okay.
it would look like I'm traveling southwest.
So
on the grid.
southwest, so like down here.
Yes.
Okay, so it's here. So you're gonna
Yep.
run towards it real quick and like probably park.
No, other way.
Oh, down here,
And down. Yes.
and then head in this direction.
Correct.
Do you want to use, or are you describe your moves?
So, with the very, very dangerous thing that moves as fast, if not faster than me, because it can't get tired. Cody is going to be moving ahead of his companions and moving in the direction like he normally does,
Okay.
but in a manner that I was doing some recon earlier while traveling around this building and going in a way that would be inconvenient for something that doesn't understand movement patterns to follow. So jumping up in through one portion of a corridor over into another area, upstairs around that back end of that corner, and then going down the other side of the building in the direction that we were that you just showed on the stream.
How are you going to? How is Cody feeling about this action right now?
Now scared. I was sad a moment ago, but I am now scared.
And you are using parkour?
Yes, I am. Let me go to it right now.
Let's see what you got.
Parkour. Swan. Oh. And roll it.
Oh,
So you have a partial success with a 7. You can let that go, or you can use your +1, +2, or +3 courtesy of the chat.
I want to keep it at a 7.
Very well. Okay, so you can choose 2 things. You can either escape an enemy. Okay. You can leave no trail or trace. You can navigate to an advantageous spot, or you can avoid all harm, or provide something to me that's tells the story.
So, because of the layout of the street prior that Cody has been paying attention to this entire time, because he had a feeling that there was
let's
gonna
go
be
to it.
someone pursuing him. while running forward with the guys on my tail, seeing the way he moves, he's going to see if he can spot the simulant behind him, and then while he's in the middle of the thought of doing that, he jumps right into field navigation, which is there's a small container, a little fridge-shaped item that just moving over it is easy to do, but if something is tracing him that is not organic, it would have difficulty and would have to try and figure out the best way to go around it without, seemingly being slowed down. From there, he jumps around the corner, losing sight of probably his friends as well.
Is this accurate? So you are coming down. Go away. So you're coming down like this?
Yes.
Okay, you got it. You finally reached the end of the block. Now, you two, on the other hand, are right here. So, and the simulant is over here. Well, that which you've called a simulant. You guys are here. Kode doubles back and starts heading down this block. What are you guys doing?
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm when Kode takes off running, I'm keeping an eye on what we saw and seeing if it reacts.
So far, it is unmoving.
Zephyr, we need to go. We don't know. There could be weapons coming out of his eyes or what. I'm like tugging at him at this point.
I kind of plant my feet and staring down the 100 feet of street between us. Very, very much Old West gunslinger. I go, "You Mantle 23.
Give me that meat."
You start feeling the entire blade like it is about to become completely unresponsive to anything it has ever given you if you do not use it.
Haven, I'm very sorry about this. You guys know where you're going. I can keep that thing distracted. Go after Kode.
I back up and I just, without a word, I know Kode enough that where he's going is where I need to be. So
Haven, you start immediately. Yep, you do a 180. You run down to the end of the block and you hang a right. Mm-hmm. You already can hear Kode. You continue looping around the corner of that block, correct? Okay, Haven, all you hear is Cody's footsteps in the distance. As you come down the block, you can see through the eyes of a child. Or rather, you can see the eyes of a child kind of following Kode, looking at you from across the way, and then looking and pointing down to where Kode went.
Thank you.
As soon as you turn that corner, you see Kode just booking it down the street. But our action now shifts back to the original street. What do we see? 100 feet away, blue eyes staring at you.
I think Zephyr is walking towards it, and he's got the hand on the hilt of the sword, and he's not speaking out loud to the sword. Oh no, I think he does. He always has before. And he says, "All right, you were the one who said it. Swordsmanship's an art, yeah? Let's paint a fucking picture, bud."
Bring me its fluid.
90 feet. You begin walking forward. It remains still. 80 feet. You can begin seeing a little bit of clarity in its eyes at this distance. 70 feet. It is still not moving. We switch our scene to the adjacent street, to the one parallel to it. Kode, how far down have you gone so far? I'll bring up the map. Yep. You are here. You started running back down. This is where the simulant is. This is about where Zephyr is. You're about here now. You're muted.
You're muted.
I am going to cross that street and stay on the corner so I can see. So if the simulant goes further towards where Zephyr was.
Yep. Yeah, it would be here, you estimate.
Okay. I'm just going to stay at that corner for a quick second and likely see Haven running towards me and wave her on, like, hurry the fuck up, let's go. and then I'm going to continue to the up one block to the right.
This way? Or this way?
No. Yes.
Okay.
And,
So you continue going west.
Yep.
And that's when you begin to receive the ping of the 3 intersecting circles of information that you guys had received.
Yep.
You arrive at this corner. We now go back to the main street. 50 feet.
Yeah, keeping up the kind of slow stroll towards it, and goes, "Now, stranger, I don't know who you are, but around these parts, we don't do much staring. So, no matter who you are, an introduction would be nice.
40 feet.
My name is Zephyr."
You can see that the blue eyes remaining unchanged on the statue of humanity, it seems. The figure is wearing clothes. It appears to be human. It appears to be very human, with the exception of its eyes and uncanny ability to stand ramrod straight and silent and unmoving. You can see an inner circle of eyes, the same kind of eyes that you have seen in the past on these things. Perhaps more in your nightmares. 30 feet.
Right. Kind introductions aren't working. Tell me, do the 4 numbers 0330 mean anything to you?
There is a slight movement. Then you hear a gear as its leg steps forward, and then another one. The distinct sound of clanking metal on asphalt. It stands forward again, its hands remaining at its side. The augmentations that you can see on it at this point would indicate that this thing can move quickly, it can move silently, and probably is going to make a huge mess of anything it touches. You can detect in its hand some augmentations that would end up coming out of its arm, sleeves bared. You're getting a little bit more of a read of this thing. It's going to be nasty. You see no vulnerable spots, no hoses or anything. But the one thing that you do notice, providing you step closer.
Yeah, I think the closest I'll get is about, 20 feet before I kind of hold my ground if it's still moving towards me.
You arrive within 20 feet of it, and then you realize the horrific truth of this thing. Bare metal arm, all of its mechanics completely showing, only because it peeled its skin back. Tore it off at the elbow and did the same with the other arm. You can see a portion of its lower jaw, the flesh also ripped off of it. The rest of the face, pristine, human, you would not be able to tell. It stands its ground as well. We change our scene back to the street where Haven is, now finally joining up with Kode. You guys, you can hear Zephyr speaking in the distance, a stark contrast to the stillness of the city around you.
What's going on? What's happening?
All right, I don't know. That was a fucking stimulant. I can't
Yeah,
be
no
near,
shit.
I can't be nowhere near those fucking things. But what I think is doing like a securing the perimeter. I picked up that phone. Sound like it might have whoever was on the other end may have sent that out to kind of secure the area. I don't fucking know. All I know is we're over here. We're trying to get, I think, 2 blocks. Shit, hold up. 2 blocks.
As soon as you put down the visor, you see your visor immediately shows you IR scan, 2 small eyes. You focus in on it. Cold, dead cold cat. Same kind of thing around its neck as what you saw back the other way. Then you look down and you can see across the street another one just comes out of an alley and sits down in a very mechanical fashion. Then you see another one up on a fire escape above you and about 50 feet down to the west. All of them unmoving and all of them observing. You then turn around, Haven, indicate. I'm assuming, Haven, you see Kode looking around and noticing these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two of you then join forces, start looking around for more. You see a total of about, you estimate, 9 or 10 of them, small sets of eyes watching your every move.
What are they gonna do? What are they doing? What are they doing?
We're being observed.
Well, we need to either help Zephyr or go that way, where the past this cat.
If I do what I'm about to do, then we're gonna have much more to worry about than the cats. And so, Zephyr, hold that thing's attention for literally 10 seconds. And
Yeah, I can do that.
And I'm sprinting towards the central area.
You sprint up this way?
Yep, right up towards where everything conjoins, and see if I could find a way into the building to get underneath or something.
You got it.
I'm flying.
And we're running again. Okay.
The two of you start making your way up. Zephyr in the background, behind the thing, behind the simulant. Again, assuming that's what it is. You see two figures, one of which just bouncing directly across, like about 7-foot strides going across, and then behind is Haven. He's also running and totally keeping up. At that point, that's when you hear the entire torso spins around, twisting and ripping its clothing
I was going to say, as soon as I got the message from Kode telling me to distract it for like 10 more seconds, I'm drawing not my sword, but my pistol and just like fanning the hammer at this thing.
Oh, fucking do it! Let's see what you got! Oh shit, here we are. This thing turned around and brought out its hand, and then you just saw two fingertips go and two barrels come out, turning around to aim at Haven and Kode. What do you got?
I will roll that.
How are you feeling about this right now?
Mad that it took its eyes off me. I'm a very showy person.
Unfortunately, you
I'm
were...
gonna put my +3 and my +1.
Yeah, because you were overcome with anger, dude. You rolled a 6, and now you're going to put in a +3 and a +1. You have a +2 remaining. That is going to give you a 10.
Yes.
Describe it.
Oh, I think it's literally like just a quick draw, like from the hip, like fanning the hammer at this thing, like just indiscriminate fire center mass.
Yeah, you turn this thing around in its back. Ping, 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 ping. There is a it then turns around, like brings it down. None of those bullets made it through its armor, but
I wasn't expecting it to. I kind of like lock eyes with it. I go, eyes on me, motherfucker.
And it now takes a step forward. Its other hand, it like grabs, yanks it back, pulls it off, drops it, and exposes what might be a...
I'm gonna like start sprinting towards it, and as soon as I get within sword range, I'm gonna slash at it.
Yep, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, the sword. I feel the sword. 11.
You are this...
Holy
shit!
You are the sword.
You fucking are the sword. All right. Dude, that is a fantastic success. Describe what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the thing where I can add 1 to the hunger of my sword to increase the harm that I do. Yes! And I'm going to, like, whatever it had, like, charging up, I'm going to try to disable as much of that as I can with just, like, a kind of, like, crouched low coming in, upward, just, like, push-up strike with the sword.
Yep. Okay, as you go pushing that thing up, you manage to catch it just in between a, let's see, yeah, no, Alex, you wouldn't be able to take it from Zephyr. The Fry the Circuits only ever works on NPCs. You managed to get it in between what would essentially be like a between the two bones in the forearm, and wrench that thing off to the side until you hear a crack of its elbow. That whole joint. Thankfully it's not a universal joint. It's an actual. It's only meant to go one way, and you manage to wrench that thing out.
I gotta like take like a gathering step backwards and like keeping eyes locked on it with the sword like 2 hands in front of me. I go, I know you don't give a shit, but whoever's watching, I ain't nothing like you've seen before.
How much harm does your blade do to it?
3 armor piercing.
its left arm wrenched, and you have a it seems to be ineffectual. You can hear circuits, and then you see a slight spark coming out of the joint. It looks down, and you see a scanner appear in its palm, read the area, and then immediately charge. It tries meeting up to you, coming straight at you. You see its fingers coming straight up again, about to take a shot, and then just using its shoulder, going to attempt a swing straight across with its own dead arm.
I'm going to try to like sidestep and cut towards like a knee joint or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're still mad?
Oh no, I'm in sword combat. Zephyr pretty much always rolls powerful.
Yeah, let's do it. I definitely
his
agree with
history.
that. Yep, yeah. Let's see what your move is, dude.
That would be a 12.
And you don't have any advanced moves yet, do you?
That's correct.
No, I don't have any advanced moves.
Fuck, a natural 12.
Oh my
God.
god.
Describe what happens, my friend.
Yeah, I think exactly like I said. I think he sees it coming in even faster than he was expecting to. And instead of like getting a sidestep and sort of like a almost like hamstringing strike across the back of its leg, as it's coming in, he goes low and swings forward into like the front of this thing's knee.
We now turn back over to Haven and Kode. Kode, you were able to see some of the action as you quickly glance over to your right as you were cutting across the as you were going across the way. You started running. Down here is where all the action had taken place. You continued. Haven, that's when, well, and then the two of you saw the flash of steel and a winding up of action. Feet against asphalt, bam, 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 and then matched along with metal feet on the same. The action that takes place then is an immediate side sweep and then a swipe. You see the rain off of the blade just being sprayed in mid-air, along with a flying of circuits as Zephyr's blade cuts into the item. By the time that Haven manages to get across the way, all you're able to see is a lone figure standing in the street with a pile of metal directly in front of it.
I think Haven like subconsciously doesn't realize like she's stopped in her tracks, like totally exposed. She stops in her tracks and stares at this, and then she realizes Cody's like way far down. Come back. Are you good? Zephyr, are you good?
Zephyr is fully like invested in what is going on with him. I think even if he can hear this, it's not registering. If this thing is like down for even a moment, he's gonna pump as much power as he can into the sword and swing for its neck.
It takes a good amount of effort, but your instinct takes over, and you can feel an almost as if it were described in an ancient novel about swordplay, that the salt of sea air floats across the breeze as you bring this blade down in a swift motion, guaranteed to decapitate any foe. There is nothing so glorious as seeing an only minute shower of sparks that should be blood, a pooling of hydraulic fluids, and a head that now moves independent of its body. The eyes still lit, however. A final stab through it causes the lights to go finally dim. We skip ahead just a little bit. We find our three finally caught up. In front of them, an area on the map that they have come across before. A junction point where three pieces of information delivered by three people now meets. You find yourselves quietly with the rest of Shade City all around you in what appears to be an alleyway. Within, someone on a roof stares at you. Another person on a balcony looks down. There is a smell of smoke and fire and grease. What exactly this is, we'll find out next week.
Oh, you fucking cheeky.
You guys have been really, really cool. Thank you so much. I enjoy absolutely kicking back and just watching this. So we're going to go immediately into the after party. Here's how this works. If you guys are watching this, the after party is a time when we get to converse with you and you with us. If you head into Discord, you'll be able to see us on the stage over there. But if you hang out here, then, well, we will be right here, just absolutely chilling. Give me a second. I'm gonna get some stuff going and whatnot. But if you guys want to start talking, by all means, go ahead.
No.
No.
That was fucking okay. If that scene, like your fight scenes, I'm gonna just toss my particle plate. I don't ever want to have a fight scene because I don't want to take your fights away. Like this is your thing now.
I'm absolutely loving playing Zephyr as this like full of bravado, like seek out a fight wherever you can, just to kind of like prove to yourself that you still got it.
Yeah.
I love samurai movies and I love Western movies, and Zephyr is very fun to play.
all I could imagine was a nighttime visual of if you've seen The Mandalorian.
Yep.
It's been out forever, so not if it's a spoiler for you, get good. But
skill issue.
There's a scene where you see on the horizon. I put it in a Discord chat of Cad Bane. In the desert, just like waiting there, and all I imagine is just you with the fucking sword, just like, oh, your shooter ain't gonna do shit against me, there, my boy. Like, and just getting ready, just running through, and just.
So here's how this can work. So, if any of you need to leave, Mike, I know typically
I do.
You gotta go. Okay.
This week and next week, I'm still at my job where I get up at 4:15 in the morning.
Okay.
And I'm on vacation for a week. And then when I come back, I'm not at the gym anymore.
You're not okay.
I can probably actually stick around for an after party every now and then.
Awesome. All right, dude. Sounds good. All right, man. Then
Much love, everybody.
I'll see you next week. Mike, again, always a pleasure. I love playing with you. So thank you.
I love playing with all of you guys.
All right. I'll see you. See you later, buddy.
Later, fam.
Do we have to mute on Zoom and go to Discord?
If you're going to listen to us on Discord, and then you definitely want to mute on Twitch, as otherwise you're just going to hear a 7-second delay and echoes and other stuff like that, and you don't want that.
I mean, us. Do I have to mute on Zoom?
Whichever way happens to work for you. Kevin, let me get you in here. I mean, the reality is that you guys can just carry on Twitch. You don't even need to be in Zoom. In Discord, because our conversation will take place here. But either way, everyone out there can hear. Can you say something for me?
Saying something.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Then you still have everything there, guys. About tonight, the most emotional.
The most emotional.
Oh my God!
There's an echo. Shit.
I muted one thing.
No, my voice is echoing.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute you on Discord. They can hear you through me.
All right. So emotion. Going downstairs and on a hunch, finding that network that was terrible and bad. That made me think, I was like, fuck, man. Like, Mama V was like a collateral damage for the level of shit these guys were doing. And that was just like focus, just get your ass upstairs. This is, get all information, get out. So I was high strung the whole time, but I had to stoic fucking, Kode, I'm here for a mission. But inside he is like, man, this is fucking hopeless.
Kevin, by the way, do you have 2 audio sources, whether it is Twitch, Zoom, or Discord?
I've muted Zoom.
Yep.
Here, let me mute.
Hold on.
They will be able to hear you through me. So it's okay if you guys are muted.
Got it.
Yeah, if you mute yourself on Discord, then you'll be good.
All right.
There you go. Now say
And
something.
how's this?
Yeah, I hear you like normal.
Okay, I muted Discord and
Okay, cool.
and on Zoom.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, no, like that sucked. Like I was like, how do I portray this? Because we're in a high stress situation now. Because I was gonna come upstairs and like have a moment with Haven. I was gonna be like, hey man, hey man, I need your help because I'm not doing okay. And then Simulant, and I'm like, fuck.
I think since you it's been like the last two sessions we've seen Kode, who is typically active, like nervously active, going around constantly emoting. We constantly see the feedback and everything like that. When Mama V was killed, Kode turned off. When he came across Hacksaw's apartment, we started to see a quiet determination and an abject hatred of the scene that is unfolding. It's been awful. When that opened up down below, well, first off, let's talk about the kids who were playing marbles with old defunct eyeballs, the cybernetic eyeballs, the same kind of mantle-made eyeballs that were, in this course, it was Prodigy, but we all know who's actually behind it.
Right.
What was the feeling of seeing kids play with your mom's eyes?
Kode took that as more of a, yes, those are cyber eyes, but they're not your mom's. It was the fact that you identified them that was like a trauma event. It was like a triggering event for him, and he was like, focus. Hey,
Gotcha.
and that's why I went immediately to talking to somebody else. I was like, okay, hey, look at the thing. Look at those. All right. And since Haven didn't react in a manner that was, oh my God, those are Mama V's eyes, it was validating. So he was like, good. I'm just still grieving, and I'm still not showing my emotions at the same time with my party. So I'm doing good. But fuck, man, that was hard to get by.
Haven, you've seen Kode go through a wide variety of things. As an empath, I have two questions to ask you. What is the journey, and this has been a question that I brought up repeatedly, what is the journey that Haven is going on emotionally? Because she was at first apathetic as a defense mechanism against all the various emotions that she constantly feels. What is the journey that she is now on? Because we're starting to see a lot more of that, a lot more emotion come out of her, while also now having to cope with the heightened emotions of her friends.
Shit. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna answer because I have an echo. The feelings. Sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Haven has been on an emotional journey herself, but what is it like for an empath to also having to deal with the heightened emotions of her friends?
Oh, it's like really. I think she's been able to turn that off for most of her life. I think that the recent events of like Mama B dying and Hacksaw and the doctor and everything sort of has compounded into a moment of like, no, you actually have to like pay attention to other people's feelings and consider them in what's going on in your world too. Like you have blinders. Yeah, you can turn it off visually, but you have to actually like, you have to be there, be present, and show up. You can't just avoid it.
Okay.
So I think it's kind of a big challenge for her.
I can fix the echo. I'm going to disconnect you two from Discord because you don't need to be there. We can hear everything over Zoom. So open up Zoom and we will continue to talk. Meanwhile, those on Discord can still hear. And if anybody from Patreon or what have you wants to come in and talk, you can. So that won't be an issue. All right. And everyone else should be able to hear you. So as normal. Okay, cool. With Zephyr being the one who has now taken down the big of the enemies, I'm curious what you two would have to do in order to survive without him. Where do you find yourselves feeling? Like, where do you fall in the party now?
Go ahead.
I don't think that I don't think Haven feels less than a part of the group in comparison to Zephyr. I think him as a fighter, like somebody who actually like can do the shit, is really important. And when it comes to Kode, she loves him, but he's organic, and that causes hesitance. And like he's like, I'm out, and like that's a very trademark Kode, and she knows her brother. And I think to that end, it opens up space to allow him to thrive in his comfort level and my comfort level. So while I'm more of the negotiator, the networker, the person that gets like that knows people and can organize, Kode is more of the scout and the recon guy and the observer of things going on. And then Zephyr, if anything, isn't necessarily above, but he picks up all this, like all our slack. So I think it's a really good balance. I don't think she sees it as like a power imbalance at all.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So originally, when it came to the meat space and dealing with things, as long as I had Haven with me, I knew that Kode acts as the utility and the escape plan. That's why he has his martial arts the way he is. He does. And he does things in a very particular way, so that he reads the situation and he's like, hey girl, cut off his head. And she's like, done. Like, and she's always been like the blade, and you know, and also had the contact, the network, and he just moved along with her along the way. And with like Non was the one that took care of all the shit that he had no idea about.
Yeah.
David said he was good. And you know, that's how they worked with missions before. Everything was fine. And there was if anything, in terms of group cohesiveness, the big hit is still missing Faustus. Faustus was like a piece that each of us in our own way needed.
Yeah.
So with him gone, like although Zephyr is a huge spike in our offensive capabilities, and you know, just in your face, like this is what running is, this is what sinning is. Like we shifted to being like a powerhouse when we don't have Lyneth like our only option,
right?
As opposed to our kind of careful get in, get out, fuck the corpos, but not by killing people, by just like subterfuge, for example, or information gathering. Right? Like we were like that before. Now we're kind of a headbutt group, and that takes away from the balance, and Kode kind of sees it. But so far, we're getting into a lot of situations that need the headbutt, and it's worked out perfect.
Yes.
I actually I'm so sorry. To add on to that, because that's a really good point. You think about like a typical party. Every party has a healer, and the healer is like one of the staples. You should always have a healer. And if we had that defense between us, and without Zephyr, and that allowed me to be very brash and do the praxis and very like without thinking about people's feelings. Like I think that's kind of where I'm tying in her apathy in the beginning, and then Kode was able to just like quickly leave without any like consequences. So that there is no sorry, I'm looking at him on this phone, that there is no healer anymore means that we also have to like pay attention and be careful. So you can't just like jump out a window. You have to make sure you know what's on the other side of the window. Yeah. And I can't just use my particle blade on anybody. I have to like assess that kind of risk.
I'm constantly amazed on first off, the chat has allowed a lot of damage to not happen to you guys, which has been amazing to watch, because this turns you into true superheroes. So really kudos out to the chat for bringing hype trains on, etc. Also, I do want to acknowledge that in the after party, I'm being told that they can't hear either of you. If we can have somebody pop in, I'm really curious if you can. Well, not you, Erin, because you'll hear an echo.
You're talking about chat. Okay.
Yeah, Kevin, you're also going to probably hear about that. Okay, Alex, Can you let us know if you can hear Kevin?
Kevin, say something.
No, say something on Twitch.
I'm speaking through Zoom right now.
Yeah, and I want to know if anybody can actually hear that. Hear what Kevin just said on Discord. So Alex or Donald, I see that you guys just popped in.
0330.
Those fucking numbers. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think that 0330 was? And then if anybody in Spoiler Chat, let me know if you can hear them on Discord.
I don't know. I thought maybe it had to do with like the code that was on the wall, but it was so far away. Like a number station situation where like a number like associates with a letter. But I have no idea.
So from what I know, it was probably a confirmation of some type for somebody coming in the general area. You don't go anywhere where you can be observed and not answer to someone. And so a way to not leave a trail, you go and pick up the phone. Somebody says a code, you respond with the appropriate code, and then you're allowed to go and you're permitted through access. If you give the wrong answer or no answer at all, you get the spooks coming out, and that's literally what happened. Kode has no idea what's happening, but I was just like, I know what this is.
This is bad. This is real bad.
This is super bad.
We're also seeing the first time that you guys have seen what is probably a simulant. But we have no verification. We don't know if that is a syndicate simulant, if that is one of Hazer's experiments, one of the 23, or what have you. Do you have any any ideas as to what it could be, any theories? And then I'm going to try to get our Patreon folk on here so that they can talk.
I was thinking, oh God.
I think it's just like a sentinel. That's it. Like a bodyguard sent out through a protocol because Hazer is a fucking hive mind right now. So he has protocols. He doesn't worry about shit. And this one was triggered. So he got an email and he's like, oh, fuck, somebody's in my area and I got to get him.
Do you think that there's any possibility that Hazer is much more than a human, or obviously we've seen him bounce around, but is it any more than that?
He's definitely figured out a way to upgrade.
I think so. I think maybe he's got something syndicate-y about him. Like maybe something where everybody has a price, man. Even like the head of corporations, they've got a price too. So I have a feeling that he sold out a little bit to get some kind of like weird upgrade. Okay.
I just changed some settings in Discord. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. In fact, if we can get, let me get Donald in on this. Donald, let's see if we can get you in here. Hey, buddy. I'm just waiting for Donald to connect.
One day we're gonna figure it out.
You still can't hear in Discord. Wow.
We'll get there.
Hear nothing. Yeah, we had it perfectly. I'm not too certain what's happening here.
Make sure everybody isn't suppressed in
there's no suppressions, no server mutes or anything like that on Donald. Donald, are you able to talk? Or are you saying that you can't even hear me?
I can hear you through Twitch.
There we go.
Wow. Okay. Can you hear me now in Discord? He can't hear me in Discord. No. Okay. This sucks. All right, Donald, this is going to be, I don't know what has changed on our side for this. I sincerely apologize. This is really friggin' bizarre. I don't understand this, why this would be happening like this. But nonetheless, it is what it is just for the moment. Donald, understanding that there's going to be a little bit of a delay there, tell us what you thought about, like, what's going on, and has anything changed in your view that, yeah, they're probably going to come across Hazer, it's probably going to be a fucking showdown, and it's probably going to be really, really messy?
Yeah, I think so. I think when Cody. Sorry, I'm hearing myself talk.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute Twitch.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute Twitch so I can talk. Okay. I think when Cody talked on the phone and they were looking for a code, that's. I think they're close to where Hazer's hideout is, and that's how the simulants check in. And obviously, Cody didn't give the right code or response to the code, and that sent out the. Basically, I think Kevin was right that simulant that was sent out was basically just, hey, what's going on out there, and I think I think it's going to be you're going to find a place it's going to get pretty violent pretty quick because I think they know you're coming and they're preparing.
Yeah, it's. I think it sounds really, really freaking nasty. By the way, can you hear me on Discord now? I'm really, really trying here, buddy. No? Okay. How about now? Are you able to hear me?
Go ahead and talk.
Trying.
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, now you can? No, you can't. How about now? No? No? Still no?
Hang off with his delay because he's got like a 3-second delay.
No.
Too.
No. God damn it. Okay. All right. Donald, thank you so much for that. I'll tell you what, let me shut down the after party on Discord because very clearly it's not working for us. Donald, I definitely want to hear your thoughts in spoiler chat if you happen to have any more than that. Guys, I am so sorry. Players on Zoom, unmute yourselves. Okay, and then we'll get you back over there. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm going to end the after party on Discord. Okay, so with that done, we last time, Kevin, you suggested something that was absolutely fucking killer, and that was use your unused points gained by the chat for the hype train and do something new. Now, typically, you can ask a tiny, small, medium, large, or really heavy clue or question that might yield a clue. Kevin, you have a +1, +2, and +3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can totally fuck us with that. Erin, you have a +1 and a +3. Mike has a +2, won't be able to be used. Erin, let's go on over to you. You have a +1 and a +3. This is a tiny little thing that you can add to the game, an ask, if you will, or you can exchange it for a tiny, tiny hint. And the +3, exact same thing, but of medium size.
I'm actually I think I'm going to do the tiny hint for the one. I am very curious about the cats. Actually, you don't even need to answer this. It's just a speculation.
Sure.
In my opinion, the cats might have to do a Shari, maybe. I don't necessarily think that they are like serving us in a insidious way, or I don't know. I feel like maybe they might be more Guardian-esque than that. But I was waiting for Kevin to do something, like for Cody to act aggressively towards them, or like throw a yo-yo at it or something to see what was going to happen.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like it might have something to do with somebody we know that's able to access Shade City without like being able to talk to us.
Kevin?
I was being cautious because I remember while doing my thing whenever Cody is flying through and he is unthreatened while he is flying through doing his parkour thing, he distinctly remembers the cat being so close to them that he could just touch him, like without anything going on. And the fact that he put 2 and 2 together of the cats being like observant in some case, that means that he's always in danger, including when he does his most safe thing, which is parkouring, hanging off of things.
Okay, so I want to insert something on this. I'm going to cash in that +1 for Erin. We're going to go along with your original tiny little hint. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, when you were hanging from the fire escape last game,
yep, mm-hmm.
You felt a cat touch, like just sit on your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
That one, when you looked up, I don't think it had glowing blue eyes, did it?
No.
Right. And it was not wearing a collar.
Correct.
With something dangling from it. Every single cat that you guys saw tonight
was.
Yep.
Oh, well. That makes it. That means that there's multiple types of fucking danger that he has to worry about now.
I figured I'd help you out.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks, Pete.
You got
Tried to make him friendly.
Nope. This is no. This is Cyberpunk, and shit's only gonna get darker.
Yeah,
Erin, you have +3. Kevin, you got a full load. What do you guys want? What do you want now? Questions or hints or suggestions to this to the game?
I have no, I can't even say that's a question. I feel like we're kind of cut short in certain ways. So I want to ask a question about. I want to ask you. I want to use my small question.
You got it. Okay.
Will we have any technological supplementary help in this terrible dead zone we're in? Because we don't have a non. Shari can't get in here. Dietz is where he needs to be. Okay, they can't always be with us. We're in a situation where we are fundamentally screwed in terms of like jumping into the veil or dealing with any architecture. Like, is there going to be anything that like fills that gap, or is that going to be the thing that just straight up fucks us?
So if a player drops from a party, I do not believe that the game that was originally designed for 4 players would continue to behave as if there were 4 players.
Okay.
So I'll tell you that without having to spend anything.
Okay.
But the hint I'll give you, now that you spent it, is you also know Taylor and Dietz. You've kind of had an idea of Shari. You know what Hacksaw is now capable of. And you can bet your bippies that they are doing something to try to reconnect with you. You can... That, in fact, if there's a single glimmer of hope in all of this, it's that you can trust them to start coming through.
Got it.
How is going to be an entirely different matter. But yeah, that's a good little lock on for you.
Okay.
I don't want it to be easy for the Hazer situation.
Yeah.
So I don't want to suggest anything because I feel like I'm gonna try to like subconsciously get Hazer in the next one. But I will say that I like the idea of like the shell operations happening. It's making it super tricky. I would love there to be a shell situation with people and Hazer. Like Hazer's able to like operate multiple people at once. And now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, can he maybe control the 23 all at the same time? Because I know he can go into people one at a time, but can he like do like a mass like zombie project kind of thing? Because you had mentioned in when you were doing your narrations, which were fucking great, that the buildings were so nondescript that it almost didn't matter. Like they basically like it didn't matter like what it was because they were so ordinary, but like just out of place. That I wanted to focus more on people. So maybe
Good.
And you had talked about you see people watching from balconies and stuff. So maybe if Hazer's like everybody would be pretty fucking wild.
So what I can tell you is there were absolutely, we were constrained by time tonight. I will give you now some of the other descriptions that we weren't able to get to. A homeless man clutches an obsolete gadget, still showing a faint glow of power. This is very much akin to the young lady that had the gadget, and very clearly is a stylized M that is on it. And on there was some kind of a blip, and the technology on it, there was a stamp that says 0330. That's number one.
Okay.
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 Well, I want to make sure that we have that. Okay. Number two was this. You came so fucking close. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to give this to you because I'm going to use it next game. Instead, there is this. There was another building. Because believe me, you're not going to need this now. An old utility map of the city has one area circled repeatedly. Like circle, 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 circle. And when you look it up, it corresponds with exactly where you are right now. Other people in the vicinity have been doing their own tracing of Mantle. And they want to find out what's been going on. This includes the job fair and other things.
Cool.
Here's another one. And this one is fucking tragic. And you can read into it however you wish. A makeshift memorial appears as you round a corner. A single candle flickers stubbornly amidst the detritus, casting dancing shadows that make the alley seem even more desolate. Against the cold concrete, there's a woman in worn-down clothing, her face lined with an age her years don't reflect. In her trembling hands, she cradles a faded photograph of a young man. A son, a brother, perhaps a lover. A soft sigh escapes her as she carefully places the photo by the candle. A silent farewell to someone lost in the unforgiving cityscape. Her grief hangs heavy in the air, a poignant testimony to the countless lives lost in the struggle to simply survive in the shadows of the city. The figure depicted in that photo is the figure that Zephyr cut down.
The figure that they did what?
It was the simulant guy. It was the figure in the photo. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Why would you do that? Why would you write that? Oh my god.
Steve is just writing prompts for a video game that is not going to be written in this universe. This is an expansion pack for Cyberpunk 2077 that just never got released.
And there is more. So, to address Erin's point, is it possible that Zephyr is like running all 23 of these? Well, maybe now 22 or maybe 23, and that was something else. Is it possible? Yeah, of course. I mean, Zephyr has been, not Zephyr, Hazer has proven that he can bounce in between people, right? So that's going to be exceptionally difficult. The interesting thing, though, is that he does that through the veil. That's the only way that it can do it, right? So that would mean that you're probably looking for, and this is going to be a hint, if you want to find out where Zephyr, if you want to find out where Hazer is, look for where the veil is back up, because that's the only way he can bounce, unless he's improved the technology to a point where it's just near field. You know, he just needs to be near someone. But we'll discover what that is. But using the tech that you know about and the stuff that you've seen him do so far, that is a possibility. I mean, just take that into account. Before we go any further, I do want to bring this up. Donald and Alex, as usual, are talking in spoiler chat, so I want to bring this up. Alex had chimed in, also was cat dancing. Those scrutters stole my design. I'm going to burn their server farm to the ground, talking about the cats who are now witnessing everything like that, though mine are more natural. That is absolutely true. Cat dancing's catrons don't have glowing eyes, and that. Donald also tosses out, I can't recall hearing Zephyr's wounds getting healed when he took down the simulant. That is correct. We continued the scene, and Mike is probably doing something with Zephyr regarding those wounds. I wonder if it didn't happen because the sword needs a living target to heal. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. If the sword needs a living target to heal its user, and the simulant is artificial. As stated in the description, there was some flesh there, so we can assume that portions of it are living. And that would be that. Alex saying then that is an interesting point. And then lastly, cat dancing by her cat. Don't tase me, I'm friendly. All buildings have steel inserts in the concrete if you know how to access them. The building becomes a radio mast. The fun thing is that with all the rain in Kill City, you can hide small hydroelectric dynamos in the old pipes and allow power without it being trackable. So that's interesting. Are there any? I have nothing more regarding this. If anybody in chat has anything, including in Twitch chat or something, please by all means feel free to ask. Anything left for you guys?
Nothing for me.
No, the narrations today were the descriptions are so good.
Yeah,
there was like the engine oil line was just so good.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I'm really, really happy that you are. I'm hoping to carry this over to the Thursday night game tomorrow, by the way, 8:30 Eastern, brand new Pathfinder 2nd Ed campaign starting up, brand new. And it's an interesting premise. And I'll let you guys know what it is right now. A group of individuals all brought together by a rather unfortunate event, but for the sake of prosperity, have decided to join forces to figure out some of the ancient mysteries of the old world. This is going to be a brand new 4th Age, which is a dark fantasy, going back to that. Where we start in Evandale, don't know, but they can pick anywhere. Tomorrow's game 0 is all going to be improv. The players have already written their backstories, and they kind of have an idea of where they're going to go. But what about the space in between? How did these characters meet? How did they come to join some organization, which the players will also be creating tomorrow through improv, a shared improv. So if you guys are familiar with Fate, even though that we're using Pathfinder 2nd Ed, if you're familiar with Fate Core, the way that characters are created is through this constant trade-off of information between the players during the very first game session. So we're going to be doing something like that tomorrow. But yeah, I hope that these descriptions are giving people an idea as to what the city is and everything like that. So I'm really happy that it works for you. Other than that, I don't have anything else. You guys were fucking awesome. And I love playing with you. Last reminder. This is going to be one of the last times that I'm going to be GMing this game. After this, some of them are going to be taking over, and I believe Erin. Yes, once this story is resolved, there's no particular, whether it's next session or the session after that, or the one after that. We're gonna have to see. This all happens at the pace of the players. But once that Dr. Hazer story is done, Erin is then going to take over this game here at this channel, still running Kill City Sinners, and I get to play for once. So that's gonna be
punk some cybers.
You're gonna pump some cybers?
Punk some cybers.
You're gonna punk some cybers. So if you're looking for a slightly different flavor, I don't know what this is gonna be. Is it gonna be cozy?
Yes, Steve, the Cyberpunk campaign.
Fucking you, babe. So I don't know.
It's gonna be all lo-fi. It's my lo-fi campaign. No, it's not gonna be cozy, but it is gonna be pop culture. So.
And is it going to be the current players, Mike and Kevin?
Yes.
They continue playing their current characters.
Mm-hmm. Same crew. Haven will go run off and do something, and then we'll be introduced to your character.
Holy shit. Okay.
I know. Haven might show up once or twice, but other than that.
Kevin's happy.
I'm so excited. If you are a fan of a certain 90s TV show, you're gonna fucking love it.
Oh my god. All right. And it's all
90s TV shows I loved. Also, I'm doing a happy dance because this is the longest series of games that I've played where I haven't DM'd. So this makes me very, very happy. This is the only time I get to be a player.
This is the first time I've DM'd on stream, so it's a first for everybody.
Fuck yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be fun. And then after Erin has after you've run your story, then Mike has expressed interest in doing the same as a continuation of Kill City Sinners. So who are the sinners? It's all of us, and we're all gonna be doing that. So yeah, really, really, really fucking excited about that kind of stuff. All right, guys, have an amazing night. The two of you, fucking Kevin, goddamn, you're awesome. I love playing with you, buddy. Erin, my heart, I love you. Abby's also kind of been watching. I'm really having, yeah, Abby's out there doing the thing. Popped in here. I'm really, really kind of happy about that.
Yeah, I saw. I'm so excited. It's exciting.
And everyone else here, Donald and Alex and Crazy, those of you who have been chiming in, thank you so much for the bits and the subs and what have you. By the way, if you are missing out on Branching Out, which takes place on Mondays, a new episode has been loaded. The very first session 1 has been uploaded to YouTube, so head on over to youtube.com/Evandale. Meantime, stay adorable, everyone. Absolutely fucking love all of you, and I'll see you guys later.
Everybody.